note?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It's Adam Briggs, a witness of the crash here. Again, an update from the Alton Fire Department. The 2 occupants of the helicopter are pronounced dead at this time. No other injuries are currently known at this moment. Live in Alton, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Thank you, Sean. Our coverage continues now with Maria Kina, who's just stepped into the anchor studio from the newsroom, where you've been working the phones trying to figure out what this helicopter was doing, who it belongs to, and who might have been inside.
Yes, Ameren, Illinois. Generally, these helicopters, when they're out on these sort of assignments, that's generally Ameren, Illinois or Ameren, Missouri, that are checking the power lines. We're trying to get confirmation now with Ameren, Illinois. Their press person is Brian Bretsch, to see if, in fact, if this was an Ameren mission or assignment with their people on board. Also, we have JF Electric. There are a lot of their vehicles out there. I contacted JF Electric, and they told me they are not speaking at all about this situation. And then they transferred me to someone who I left a message for. So from that end of it, I can't get anything really confirmed right now.
That is KMOX's Maria Kina. Again, we're following this breaking news of a helicopter crash into a barge in the Mississippi River. Our news team's working the story. We'll bring you the latest at 2 o'clock, or if anything breaks before then. Looks like closures on the Clark Bridge have reopened. We've got a stalled vehicle 270 north at 44 in the right lane and shoulder. Some road work on 44 west at Hampton. That's got the right lane closed. And a crash on 44 west at Washington, Highway 100. That's got the left lane closed.
Temperatures are up and the humidity is up. Mainly sunny skies. However, there are a few scattered thunderstorms that have dropped in from the northwest, and they will be in play as we go through the afternoon. Not everybody sees them, but be alert. There will be some thunder and lightning around and some downpours of rain. Get under those things, and the high of 92 will cool back very quickly into the low 80s and then bounce back again. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid, 73. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, summertime, sunny, hot, and humid with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We've got clouds. It is 90 in St. Peters, 90 in Florissant, and 90 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Guys, welcome into Thursday on the Dave Glover Show. Dave out. He'll be back on Monday. Vacation's going well. He's getting near the end of the vacation, which means it's going to be going less well soon.
Yeah.
Like the end of a vacation can be two things. It can be, all right, I'm ready for this to be over and I'm ready to be back and doing normal things and be back in my own house, in my own bed and all that. It can also mean I'm having so much fun, I don't want this to end, and that kind of sucks when it ends. So I guess we'll find out Monday which of those two things it is at the end. But obviously the rest of the crew here, Rachel Zimmerman, Andrew Stoles, Kevin Wheeler. We'll be talking to Brad Young coming up in about an hour. Ricky Horton joins us at 2:30. Janelle Holy L on all of the social media platforms. We'll be talking movies with us. She'll jump in around 3 o'clock and usually hangs with us for most of that hour. Dave Murray at 3:30. Mike Elam at 4. So we're really busy on a Thursday, which is pretty normal for Thursday. Thursday and Friday, we got a lot going on. And then other than that, just be normal, regular, everyday stuff. Simple.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping it easy, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So in typical DGS fashion, let's stay with the style of the show, which is the latest thing that happened is the thing we're going to talk about. Because I find this to be absolutely hilarious. So walked in today. Let's just start. We'll go backwards. Walked into the studio today. And if you guys are watching on the stream, you'll notice that there is a collar on my shirt.
It's fancy today,
It's
guys.
just for me, this is really dressed up. For me, this is fancy as hell. Like I might be going out for a steak dinner or something, or maybe I got a business appointment when I got a collar on my shirt. But it's basically just a golf shirt that's super comfortable. and that I had lost in my own closet because, the hangy shirts are in there, and I don't wear the hangy shirts very often because I don't hang things up. I just live out of a laundry basket. And if something's a little too wrinkly, Dave and I are brothers in arms in this. You just throw it in the dryer for a couple minutes, and now it's not wrinkly anymore because I'm a guy and I'm an idiot, and that's what I do. I still live like a college kid in that regard. But I do my own laundry, and I want credit for that. I do not put that on my wife. I do not put that on Susan. But I walked into the studio today, and Rachel like, oh, nice shirt. That looks great. Are you dressed up? And then today when I walked into the office, the main office, Andrew's sitting there with our boss, Steve. And Steve looks at me. He's like, the hell are you going today? Why are you all dressed up? And Andrew kind of said the same thing, but Andrew gets it because I think he and I are both in this boat. This happened this morning. I was getting dressed, going to say goodbye to Susan for the day, and she's like, oh, you got a meeting or something? Oh, nice shirt. I'm like, well, the only thing that makes it nicer than a normal shirt is that there's a collar on it because it's the same material as other shirts. Well, but this is the standard that I've set, which I guess is pretty low.
Well, it also doesn't have like a Star Wars or a sports logo on it.
It's not a band T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I do love
That's a really good point.
Everyone in your life, though, is like, whoa.
Everybody. Every person I've seen today. I got my hair cut today. Same thing. Oh, look at that. Fancy dress today. I'm like, well, and then I have to tell everybody the same story, how I love this shirt. I've had it for a while. But I lost it. I forgot about it because it was in the closet with the shirts that hang, and I don't go to those very often because those are usually like the polos that I would wear if I'm going on to a golf outing or if I got a work thing. Some of the suit shirts are in there, so it's just like one of those deals where good fortune for me yesterday because I was looking for something else in that closet and I moved the shirts. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear that tomorrow because I like that shirt. It's super comfy.
Why is it that laundry gets lost like that? Because that has happened to me so many times, and I'm always like, there's nowhere else it could be. It's not, I didn't like change somewhere else. It's not in my car. Like, what's going on? And then you'll find it tucked behind like a dresser 6 months later.
I'm the king of that. I thought I was like, I didn't think I was the only one, but I thought like I was the weirdo because I do this I discover old clothes several times a month because of the way that I do my laundry. Like my normal regular rotation of stuff is in the laundry basket. Or like I do put the socks and underwear in a drawer because I don't have to do anything. I just throw it in the drawer.
Now, do you fold your socks? Like, do you?
No.
You don't put them together?
I mean, they're color coded, so if I just throw them all in the drawer, I can just pick out the same color. They match in that way. That's the only really thing about them. And no, so I just toss them into the drawer, and I do the same thing on the underwear. So it's going in there. None of that needs to get folded or anything, and I do that, and the shirts are typically on the laundry basket or they're on the side of my bed that I don't use very often. And they just kind of sit there, and that can be sometimes where it's not really dirty, but it's not brand new clean kind of shirt where you maybe wore it for a couple hours. And you're like, I can wear that again. I don't need to do anything with that one. Don't need to wash that. Then I've got the closet on one side, which is just shelves, and that's where I just throw crap. So, like, that's where I throw my shorts, my never leave the house T-shirts, the ones that are only for the inside the house, like for doing work or just sitting around the house because they're obviously old and ratty and not in good shape. And then the other side is where the nicer ones are hanging, and that's where I found this one. I was actually looking for a piece to my Star Wars drone, believe it or not.
Sure.
I can't find it. I still can't find the battery charger for my little X-Wing fighter drone.
Maybe it's with my hanging clothes.
Yeah, well, I put those things in the closet too, and then they fall sometimes because that's how I am. So anyway, that's how I look fancy today.
It must be so nice to have a house with multiple closets. What you're describing to me is so luxurious.
Well, it's one closet with two doors that go opposite, so you can only open one side at the same time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's actually one closet, but with double doors that move weird. So I call it like 1 and 2, but it really is the same one.
That sounds somehow even fancier.
It's not. It's
he's
actually
trying
annoying.
to undercut the fancy, but
no,
he's like,
it's not really. I mean, it's just a closet.
A closet is actually a transformer.
It's nothing special. It's nothing special. It sounds bigger and better than it really is because if you open it up, you're like, oh, so there's dirty laundry on the bottom right, And then there's a bunch of clothes stacked in the shelves that looks like it's dirty, but it's actually clean. And then there are piles of shorts on top of those shirts because that's where the shorts go. On the very top is where you have all my toys. You've got my baby Grogu in it. You know, what's that little pod that he grows around in?
It's just like his pod.
Yeah, I got it's on wheels.
Yoga pod.
it's the baby Yoda pod.
It's baby yoga.
Well, I got that, and it's on wheels, so you got remote control, and it'll roll around, so it looks like you got baby Yoda. And I've got my X-wing drone, and I've got another thing like that. Like, this is my little toy area. In my little electronic toy area. And then on the other side, the top level is just all my sweatshirts, which I don't need right now, so they're all just thrown up there. And then there's the hangy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom left changes, but that's where things sometimes fall. Usually that's pretty empty. There's a baseball bat there. That's usually what's there.
So what do you do with your sweaty baseball clothes? I'm assuming you're not throwing those in the dirty clothes, because like if you have that closed in the closet, that's not good.
Well, no, it's probably not great. I don't usually do. If it's really bad, they will sit out on top of the dog crates, which are also in that same room, or they just go right into the laundry. Like as soon as I'm changing and done, they just go right into the laundry, and then I'll make myself do laundry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good about doing laundry. I might wait a little while because I have a lot of T-shirts and things. But I'm good at that, and I've been doing that since I was in high school. So I'm a proud boy.
Very nice.
I can do. I'm a proud
yeah, don't say
boy,
that.
not a proud boy. But I'm very proud of myself for being a good boy when it comes to doing my own laundry. I don't make anybody else do it. Thanks to my mom. She said, you know, you're old enough now, you could do your own laundry. And I did. It's a good skill.
It is a good thing to know
I just
how
don't
to do.
fold it. I don't iron it. I don't do any of that stuff. Because why? Why would I do that?
I really hate doing laundry, but I try to shift my mindset because I have like a whole process. I'm not going to get into it because not a single person cares, but there's a lot of steps to doing the laundry, and I just try to enjoy it for the tedious task that it is. I'm like, all right, this is,
So the satisfaction is the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, these are some quiet moments I can kind of take to myself.
But you're Rach, you're not in, like, Andrew and I are definitely in the club of anything that's not just really simple. It's like, oh, you're dressed up. Got a belt. You got a collar on. Like, and I think Dave's kind of the same in the collar thing. Like, if Dave's got a collar on, he's got something.
If Dave walked in here wearing the shirt you're wearing now, I'd be like, oh, man,
what's
obviously,
going on?
like, the show is getting canceled or something.
Yeah,
like,
something is up.
Something is very
So somehow
wrong.
you've surrounded yourself at work with people that are like this. Is Kurt like this, too? Is he like us? One of us.
He's pretty casual, yeah. He doesn't get... I mean, he'll throw on a collared shirt, and he has a pair of khakis he wears all the time.
Okay.
He's a khakis boy, but...
Oh, la-di-da.
Fancy guy.
But yeah, in general, he keeps it pretty casual.
I don't think I've ever seen Dave with a collar on a shirt.
I don't know if I ever have in person. I remember when Phoebe graduated from high school. He was wearing a tie, I believe.
I've seen the picture of that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the only...
it's the same thing for me.
I don't think I wear anything but like basketball shorts, like outside of
work. I mean, pretty much. Here, it's always jeans for me, just because it's the most casual thing I can get away with. I know shorts are frowned upon in the workplace, but they are my preferred thing anywhere outside of work. Just so comfy.
We should have an Adam Sandler day where we all dress in like the basketball shorts and the big baggy t-shirts.
Sandler day.
Yes.
That would be fun.
I do not know if there's such a thing as a baggy t-shirt for me, but we will try. Put on a Sandler t-shirt like, ooh, this is a little snug.
Yeah, well, you know what? I love being Captain Casual, so that's all good.
Well, you look very nice
today,
it.
Well, I thank you, even though it's probably just normal for everybody else.
If you want to check him out, check out the Dave Glover Show stream on the Dave Glover Show Facebook or YouTube page. We're out here. We would like you to join the conversation.
Yeah, prepared to be disappointed. It's going to be like, that's what they're talking about?
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us, and we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
Create the ultimate raised bed garden with St. Louis Composting. Our premium compost and soil mixes are perfect for filling the raised beds you'll enjoy building, and even better for growing fresh, homegrown veggies. Imagine harvesting your own tomatoes, peppers, and cilantro for fresh salsa the whole family can enjoy. And with delivery right to your door, getting started has never been easier. Visit stlcompost.com to order a convenient delivery from your phone in seconds, or stop by one of our 9 locations in the St. Louis area. St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise, but the one thing we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies, 314-991-9005, or online at checkwithgary.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial, Inc., an FFC registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918615.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex, which is available at Supplement Superstores. It is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed. Here's what it does for me and what it will do for you. Optimizes thyroid function, which gets your metabolism rocking and rolling, helps you with appetite and craving control. All-day focused energy comes with that, plus the reduced cortisol levels helps you get a better night's sleep. So get out to Supplement Superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll knock 30% off the 213 Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis. 104.1 FM. KMOX.
All right, it's Thursday on DGS. Dave will be back on Monday, finishing up his vacation the rest of the week. Rachel, Andrew, and Kevin hanging out. We got a lot going on today, but obviously we also have the newsroom doing great work in chasing down the story of the helicopter crash that occurred just off of the shore, I guess you could say, of Alton, and Michael Calhoun from the KMOX newsroom has an update on that.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Let's take you right now to the scene. Corporal Dallas Thompson of the Missouri State Highway Patrol giving us the very latest information on this.
Here we did find that the helicopter was on top of the barge. There was a fire on top of the barge, but it was put out very, very quickly. At this point in time, we know that there was 2 people that are confirmed deceased from the helicopter itself. We're still working to confirm that there was anybody on the barge. We don't have any reports of injuries at this time, but we don't believe there was anybody on there, but we're still working to confirm that information. So it was a effort from both sides of the river for the response to come here. It was a very quick response. We appreciate everyone's response that they gave us here this morning. At this point in time, we're just waiting on the FAA and the Coast Guard to join in with us, joint efforts to finish the investigation going forward.
Was there anyone else in the helicopter?
From what we know, it was just the 2 people right now.
Was this a locally owned or was this like a commercial helicopter?
We're still working with that to try to identify who the helicopter was. We do believe that they was working on the power lines themselves, so we don't know which company, we don't know which helicopter company it was. At this point in time, we're still working with the Coast Guard and the FAA on that.
We heard a story there was a line down in the water. Is that
correct? And whenever they first got here, there was one of the power lines that had fell into the water. We wasn't sure if it was live power yet at that point in time, so we kind of did an evacuation of the immediate area just to kind of make it safe in the area. We have since learned that that's not a live power line anymore, so there's no danger to the area here or anybody that's on the water.
Any idea what was in that barge? Or was it loaded? Was it gas?
Yeah, I'm not real sure at this point in time.
And so at this point, you don't know if there's any concerns as far as anything leaking or?
No, there's no concerns of that at all.
Are the bridges still shut down?
No, all highways are in and around the area are open to local traffic. So, like I say, at this point in time, we're just waiting on the FAA to get here and work with the Coast Guard as well. It's a federal waterway, so we're just kind of trying to figure out where do we go, who's going to handle what parts of this investigation going forward.
And to your knowledge, nobody on the barge?
To our knowledge right now, yes.
No way.
Who took over the initial investigation? When it happened, kind of who was in charge?
Well, there was a joint command post put up here by the local fire department.
You're listening to Corporal Dallas Thompson of the Missouri State Highway Patrol giving an update on that helicopter crash into a barge in the Mississippi River. Electrical lines are no longer live. There is no concern about leakage of any kind of chemicals from the barge or the helicopter, and all highways in the area have reopened. Our Sean Malone is on the scene. Maria Keena's in the newsroom making phone calls. We'll continue to monitor what the corporal's saying and anything else that comes from this situation. And we'll bring you the latest coming up at 2 o'clock. Kevin?
Michael, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Great coverage today. It's a horrible story, obviously, but we have the best newsroom in the business, and they do a phenomenal job of making sure we have all of the right information when you have a tragedy like this. And again, you'll get more information coming up at the top of the hour in the 2 o'clock news, and then throughout the afternoon as information comes available. We've got our whole team on it, and I mean, just heard from Michael. Maria Keena's on it. Sean Malone is out there, so we've got all the information for you. We'll make sure we keep you updated and let you know how things progress as the days go by.
Absolutely. There's an article up on KMOX.com as well if you would like to
summarizing
check in
what we know and all that.
Yes.
Good time. Also want to remind everybody, busy day today, normal Thursday for us. So Brad Young's going to jump in and join us at 2 o'clock. Ricky Horton at 2:30. Talk about the Cardinals, who are off today, by the way. No Cardinals game. So our baseball talk will be with Ricky, and then Matt Pauley and I will have the Redbird Rush Hour from 5 until 6, and then Matt will have Sports Open Line from 6 until 8. We'll also have Janelle in today, so we'll talk some movies, whatever else. I mean, Janelle likes to hang out, so that'll be normal after we do our TV and movie talks. And then Dave Murray and, of course, Mike Elam. So normal busy day, a little bit of serious, a little bit of politics, a little bit of news, and a little bit of dumb stuff.
A little bit of dumb stuff.
Probably skewed towards more of the dumb stuff, but...
Hey, speaking of movies, Andrew, did you see your movie yesterday?
I did.
What'd you see?
Nice.
Naked Gun.
Oh?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Super, super good. Extremely good.
So Janelle reviewed that last week with us, right?
I believe so.
And said she liked it. So you liked it too?
Yes, loved it.
All right.
But it was very, very, very funny. It's nothing but goofs and gags. You'll be scared to look away from the screen because there's so much goofing and gagging going on.
Andrew's going into 1940s movie guy.
Did you get yourself some popcorn?
You better believe it.
Very
Popcorn and a
nice.
big soda. Can't see a movie without it. I will not. I refuse to, actually.
Did you have to finance that? No, I'm kidding. It's so expensive, dude.
I thought you meant that I have to pay for it. I was like, well, yeah.
No, I meant like last time I went to the movie theater and I got it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was all in.
$20?
All in for 2 tickets, 2 large sodas, and a large popcorn. It was $47, and that's matinee pricing.
Whew.
All righty then.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
I would just like to say you guys are awesome. I've just been turned on to this since it's been on 104.1 at the FM dial, and I think you guys make me laugh, and you're informative. I just love you guys' show. You guys are amazing.
The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays at 9 on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
Get a Metro Transit $5 day pass from Metro St. Louis and go anywhere Metro goes, no matter how far or how long, all day long. Super chill, clean, safe, and reliable, not to mention AC and free Wi-Fi. Go to metrostl.org to get your pass today.
How many of you think taxes are going to go up in the future? And if they do, who will be hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Tuesday, August 26th or Thursday, August 28th at Fleming's. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Temperatures are up and the humidity is up. Mainly sunny skies. However, there are a few scattered thunderstorms that have dropped in from the northwest, and they will be in play as we go through the afternoon. Not everybody sees them, but be alert. There will be some thunder and lightning around and some downpours of rain. Get under those things, and the high of 92 will cool back very quickly into the low 80s and then bounce back again. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid, 73. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, summertime, sunny, hot, and humid with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live, it's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming charity golf tournament benefiting the VFW National Home. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Bill talks about why he loves 3-day kitchen and bath.
I was looking to renovate a home that I purchased. They came out, did all of the work in a timely fashion, and looks first rate.
Bill, would you recommend 3-day kitchen and bath?
Oh, yes. Definitely. Not only because of the quality of the work, but also the quality of the service along the line. From the beginning until the end, they were there and with me. And as we went along, I saw some things that I thought I might want to change, and they were happy to do that. Really pleased with the way they work. As I said, not only the quality of the work, but also the quality of the service along the way.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-day kitchen and bath.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, it's DGS on KMOX. Rachel, Andrew, Kevin hanging out, and Dave will be back on Monday. If you miss anything as we go along, you can rewind it on the Odyssey app, and you can podcast us. And most of you that listen, our podcasters know. I mean, we got tons of podcasts for this show. So you all know where to go. But anywhere else, if you're not sure, if you've not done it, and you're like, I might want to go hear that, just go wherever podcasts are. It's really easy.
You can find us.
You can find the Dave Glover Show everywhere. Let's do some Razor's Edge. What do you got today, Rich?
Okay, I have kind of a fun story here. There's a new website. It's called the Panama Playlists, and it's a reference to the Panama Papers. But basically what they're doing is they're going through Spotify accounts of high-profile celebrities, journalists, politicians, finding their playlists and publishing them online. I think stuff like this is extremely fun. I would, if there was a way for me to access, like, anyone at Odyssey's playlist, I'd be like, yeah, let's see what, whoever down the hall is listening to. So one of the public figures included on the website is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Oh, boy.
So this is
does he have these boots are made for walking?
Well, we'll just have to see. He's got some good picks. He's got some good songs. So the alleged playlist, because I can't 100% confirm that this actually belongs to Ron DeSantis, but it includes songs like Eye of the Tiger.
All right.
Which has kind of been the DGS's
it's a good song
of the past couple of weeks.
And he's of our age, so like
it makes total sense.
He was a little nerdy kid, like when we were little nerdy kids and loving Rocky and all that. Yeah, that's fine.
Billy Joel's Uptown Girl.
All right. Again, fair generational thing.
Mm-hmm. And my personal favorite, Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA.
Oh, well, it's because it says USA, so.
Well, yeah, it's a patriotic song.
Yeah. I don't know if I must have heard that one. That's a big song, right?
You've heard it.
You've heard it.
It's like
hand up to playing my song. The
butterflies fly away. I would have turned it off pretty quickly, I think.
According to the Panama Playlists, DeSantis's profile photo is on Spotify is him wearing his military uniform, and he calls it a hodgepodge mix.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he also featured Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Okay.
CeeLo
This is not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, here's the thing, right? It's just like when Obama does his like summer playlist or whatever. This is not what you're actually listening to.
Oh, really?
Because, well, do you think Ron DeSantis is actually listening to Party in the USA?
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know.
By Miley Cyrus? A 15 years old now Miley Cyrus song?
Oh, is that song that old?
It's a good song.
From an 18-year-old girl?
All
yeah,
right.
I do not imagine that Ron DeSantis is actively listening to this when he gets in the car and he's like, man, I just can't stop listening.
What if it's just like a list he puts on in the car that's suitable for everybody in the car?
That is equally psychotic. You just listen to the exact same thing every time you get there. Put on a radio.
So
no, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. I don't know that I find this as wild as you do.
So, Andrew, you think that this is just some sort of like fake playlist that they put together?
Yeah, I think when the like 62-year-old governor is like, I love 2011's Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. That's messed up. If you like that song, that's creepy and weird.
What if it's you on actually his list because his wife likes the song and they drive in the car together?
Then that's not his playlist. Well, that's his wife's playlist.
But he made it.
Tell me what Mrs. DeSantis is rocking on then.
I'm just going to tell you from my experience. As a person who listens to music that my wife will not listen to,
same.
I do have playlists that are acceptable and suitable that go in the car that will not anger her or disturb her or bother her. So, like, I have done things where I'm like...
But this is not Ron DeSantis' wife-approved car playlist. This is his personal playlist of music.
We think.
Well, okay, I'm doing a little more digging. DeSantis' spokesperson is saying this is not my Spotify playlist.
Okay.
He is denying.
Oh, well.
But looking at the Panama Playlist website, they have other politicians and, their preferred music published as well, like J.D. Vance.
Oh.
He has a playlist called Making Dinner. I assume he's listening to these songs while he's making dinner.
Fair discussion.
It's all Miley Cyrus.
Some of the songs included on this playlist are I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
Love that song.
Believable.
One Time by Justin Bieber. I don't think I know that one.
I don't either.
He also has a alleged playlist called Gold on the Ceiling. containing songs like What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction.
Gross.
Get Lucky by Daft Punk, Pharrell.
Extremely gross.
You Are a Tourist by Death Cab for Cutie. Maybe you should have named this one Hodgepodge. This is a lot of different genres.
That's a great song. It makes me wonder if this is like his After Dark playlist, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot of speculating going on in the piano
It's also
playlist.
a really weird name for a playlist.
Gold on the Ceiling.
That's a song.
It's the name of a Black Keys song, so I assume it's something like that.
Well, not knowing that made it sound like something different.
What do you mean?
Like what?
You're looking up at the ceiling.
And there's gold on it?
Yeah.
Like a
Forget
sex
it.
thing? Like what are you talking
Like
about?
that's his bedroom playlist, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was
okay.
my speculation.
Yeah.
Was that it could perhaps, even knowing what the name is a reference to, is that it could be.
I mean, I think we figured something out here.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I didn't know the song, but when you first said that, I'm like, oh, this is his bedroom playlist.
Let's see who else is on here. Sam Altman, former St. Louis and the OpenAI CEO. He has a playlist called My Shazam Tracks, presumably songs he has Shazammed while hearing out in public.
Oh, that's all right. I
That's a
didn't make
great
that
one.
connection here. That's
That's
actually
a great
idea. Yeah.
Containing songs like Get Your Freak On by Missy Elliott.
All right.
Let's see. We'll do one more and then we'll move on. This is
Well, what's on your list? Like you guys, I mean, I don't do the playlists on like Spotify or anything. I download the music that I want, and I will sometimes make playlists. Mostly, I just leave albums the way they are, but sometimes I'll like mesh like artists together into one big playlist for like a long drive or something like that. But I don't know that I name them. Here, let me see. I'll tell you what my playlists are named. Let's see.
This one's called 1. This one's called 2.
Test 2, test 3, test 4,
Oh,
test
I was right.
That's all they are. Oh my God. One of them says new. That's it. That's how creatively I think when one of my playlists is just called songs.
Well, I mean, that's what they are.
Accurate.
What else do you need to call them?
Factually correct.
Yeah. I'm not super creative on that. Because I normally know like the larger the number is probably the newer the music, right? So I'll add a new one if I've downloaded like 3 new albums. I'm like, all right, I want to pull in like 4 or 5 songs from each of these for a little playlist. I don't even sort them. I don't name it. I just, all right, that's number 10 or that's number 11 or whatever.
I don't really do playlists myself. I do a lot of just going to an artist and listening to their hits or like listening to a specific album. I have a couple of playlists that I very rarely listen to. One is called Pop Queens. It's just like female pop stars that I like. I have a running playlist that I haven't used in a long time because I don't run that much. Workout playlist. That one doesn't get used too. I have a tennis playlist that I have never once listened to while playing.
Really?
tennis.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do while you're concentrating on an activity like that.
Yeah.
Andrew?
I've got
Are you
Party
a
in the
list guy?
USA, which is...
Are you a lists guy?
Yeah, yeah. So I've got Party in the USA, which is a playlist that just has Party in the USA on it.
Just has Miley Cyrus's song over and over
it just
and over
has
and
Party
over.
in the USA. And then I have Not Party in the USA, which is all of Miley's songs that are not Party in the USA. And so my drive, usually on the drive to work, I'll listen to one. On the drive back, I'll listen to another.
See, I'm confused here because I just found the Ron DeSantis playlist on Spotify. And it says it's Ron DeSantis. It is a photo of him in his military uniform.
But there's no policing that. I mean, I can make a Ron DeSantis playlist with a picture of Ron DeSantis and say
Right,
that
but
he
wouldn't
made it.
you make it like funny or something?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, you wouldn't want to make it really normal.
Because some people aren't funny. They're just weird. And the thing that, like, I won't say that. The thing that they enjoy, or phrase it that way, is like...
Just fooling people?
Yeah, they just want to, like, fool people.
Yeah, I get you.
It's weird. It's weirder than making, like, a goofy parody version. Because that's normal and silly.
Well, that was my Spotify
But are you guys
thing.
more of that, like, you like the idea of, like, the randomness of it? Or do you... Because for me... I almost always I don't listen to too much where it's just like random things that are similar to a topic. I like, all right, this is the band I feel like listening to now, and I'll go get the one of those that I want if I don't have it already.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, I don't know. I generally, I listen to the majority of my music in the car.
Yep.
and it's, a 20 or so minute commute. If I have a longer drive, I might plan in advance what albums I'm going to listen to. But most days it's just like, oh, I feel like listening to the Eagles. So I'll just kind of listen to their, I'll
pull up their greatest hits.
Exactly.
Good times.
Yep, listening to music has definitely changed in the past couple of years with the advent of streaming. I think the Panama playlist is fun, like whether or not it's actually true.
I'm going to Google it.
It's interesting to be like, well, what if we did have access to these people's public Spotify accounts? Yeah. It's fun to kind of get a little peek inside their mind. So.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit TrueHold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com. All right, it's DGS on a Thursday. We got Brad Young coming up top of the hour. Legal stuff, politics stuff. Lots of stuff with Brad Young. Ricky Horton will be 2:30. Dave Murray, 3:30. Janelle's going to jump in for the 3 o'clock hour with us, as she always does. You can find her at Holy L on all social media outlets. And obviously, she can join us. She's our resident movie critic here on DGS. And then we'll have Mike Elam later on, 4 o'clock. So going to be a busy day. We'll mix in a whole bunch of other things in that, including this. So did you guys, you're not in the same social media algorithm or circles that I'm in typically, but did you guys see the video that's been viral for a few days now of the random fan hitting a home run in a baseball game? So the Portland Pickles is the name of this team, and it's in Portland, Oregon. They did this thing where they called a guy's name, they called him out of the stands. He came into the game, and he actually just played the rest of the game. Drew a walk in the first at bat and stole the base. He was playing in shorts, by the way. He had a shorts and then an untucked jersey that they just kind of put over his shirt. And then in his second at bat, he hit a massive home run.
That's awesome.
And it turns out he's not such a random fan, which everybody would have seen if they watched the video.
It was Mark McGwire.
So now this is what this kind of irritated me a little bit. Not too badly, because I get it. So the Portland Pickles are a collegiate summer team. Okay, so it's college players from the Northwest playing a wood bat summer league before they go back to college. These leagues are all over the place. We have them here. They play out at I was going to say TR Hughes, but I don't think it's called that anymore. CarShield Field. That's where they play out in O'Fallon. And it's not an unusual thing for those kinds of leagues to do fun promotional things, do all this. Well, the guy's a college baseball player who was an intern for the team. For the Portland Pickles, and they built.
He's in there. He's having his Red Bull.
I dropped my can. I'm sorry. I knocked the can over and the mic was on, so it went.
This thing sometimes that drives me crazy, where he drinks too much energy drink
and now he's
gets
jittery.
all riled up, and now he's knocking the can over.
I did it again.
Anyway, they build this as like this random fan was drawn at random, and he's going to play for the Pickles today. Yeah. And it turns out he's a college baseball player, and they all are. But so the headline is "Random fan hits a home run for the Pickles," and it's like, no, college baseball player hits a home run in a college baseball game.
So he was an intern for the Pickles?
Yes.
So that's
and he plays college baseball right near there.
He's just the same as them. He's on the same level that they are.
So what I wanted to do in bringing this story up was get a ruling from you guys. 2 rulings. One, is that a little too BS even for a little collegiate league to pull the wool over people's eyes and pretend that this guy's some fan, when in reality he plays college baseball? I mean, he just finished his second year of college baseball. He's just like the guys on the field. He's the same as the guys on the field. Is that too far? And then my second question, this is what I wanted to get to, is I'm actually more annoyed at the people that bought it than the people that did it. I'm more annoyed at the dummies on Twitter that are like, "Oh my God, that's amazing."
Well,
if you watch the video, he's clearly a baseball player. He's not some random dude.
In their defense, how would they know?
If you look at him, he's 20 years old. He looks like he's 20 years old, and he looks like an athlete, and he swung the bat like a real baseball player. He wasn't some random dude.
I don't know if I agree that I'm judging anyone who bought the story, because it's like, this team is coming out and saying, how incredible is this?
I know.
How good is this guy? And then it's like, well, he interned for the team. You knew he was going to be good. So to me, it does smack of there's some deception.
It's a little deceptive. They're not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not like they're evil people
or anything. They're not ripping people off.
It just seems like a bad idea. It's unfortunate that it did go so viral, and now they have to be like, oh, yeah, actually, he was our intern. Well, then you just took all the fun out of it. That would be like putting someone on the air. We grabbed someone off the sidewalk and put them on the air. And then it's like, oh, by the way, they're an intern here.
Yeah, they're an intern here.
And they actually do a podcast here. And all. You know, it would just be, you're just kind of lying to people. That's my issue with it.
We used to have a guy on this show, Wheels, named Mark Close. Everyone knows Close.
Yeah.
And Close would make up a lie that you would have no reason to doubt him on. And then when you fell for it, he'd go, carped you. You fell for it. You fell for it, stupid. Yeah. And you're like, well, why on earth would I assume you were lying about that?
Yeah, well,
that's what this feels like to me.
The difference here, though, is that you actually get to see the video. So, when you watch the video, it's very clear this is not a random person.
I don't know if I would recognize that.
You absolutely would. You would absolutely recognize, oh my gosh, he's the same general age as all the players.
That might be a little suspicious.
Oh my gosh, he actually looks like an athlete. He runs like an athlete, and he swings the bat really well.
Ooh, he's so
I bet
handsome.
he's not a random fan. We got a question Corey asked us on the stream. He said, are those games standard size fields? No, college fields are the same size as professional fields. They're all going to be exactly what you would think. 400-ish to center, 360, 370 to the gaps, anywhere from 320 to 340 down the lines. I mean, the college size fields are standard fields. So and by the way, that's a hard thing to do. I don't care if it's playing a prank or not. Like, even the players that are playing, when the players are playing for real, hitting a home run in a game ain't easy. So I give the kid credit. I mean, that was a really cool moment, and I'm not blaming the kid at all. He's just having some fun, and he's doing what the team wants him to do. And I get why the team does it, because otherwise, who's talking about the Portland Pickles?
Well, yeah, they're trying to have their Savannah Bananas moment. I guess I just question, was this fully set up before the game, or was it like, yeah, we are going to put someone random in, and that's Dylan, our intern.
They called him Dixie.
Okay. Dixie
is going to be our guy, and that's all they went by. But his real name, I think, is Eli Steinhaus, and he's a college baseball player at Lewis and Clark in Oregon, and obviously he had a role with the team.
Yeah, the fact that
a little bait and switch there,
a little bit. Like, don't present it as this amazing thing that happened when it's all theater. I don't trust you, Portland Pickles. You lost my trust. At this point.
And this thing went, I mean, it has been so viral. Like, it blew up. I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it all over Twitter, and people retweeting, oh my God, can you believe this? Well, yeah, I can believe it, because a college baseball player hit a home run in a college baseball game.
Yeah, once you told me the truth, it's actually quite easy to believe.
Actually, wow, you know what? That actually almost sounds kind of expected.
Hello, St. Louis. This is Joe Hart, one of the 6 certified arborists with Timberline Professional Tree Care. It's summer in St. Louis, and the extreme heat and prolonged dry conditions can lead to big problems with your trees. Trees depend on soil moisture to remain healthy, and drought stress over time can weaken a tree's natural defenses against insects and fatal disease. Promoting general health of your trees with a wide area of mulch over the root system, periodic deep watering, and growth regulator treatment is a great way to ensure your trees stay healthy for years to come. It's also time of the year to resume maintenance pruning on oak trees. At Timberline, we have the knowledge, experience, and equipment to handle any of your tree care needs, including prevention of fatal diseases, pruning, removal, and lightning protection. Read our online reviews. They're all 5-star, and we will not rest until you are satisfied. Call Timberline Professional Tree Care today at 636-479-7475 or visit our website at stltreecare.com.
Feel like your paycheck barely keeps up with your life? At the Financial Freedom Seminar, learn how real people are building passive income and retiring early using real estate. It's all happening live in St. Louis with Lifestyles Unlimited, September 27th and 28th. You'll leave with a step-by-step plan to change your future. Text radio to 88007. That's September 27th and 28th. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007 now.
Hi, this is Steve Butts with the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. I know we're all experiencing sticker shock when you get your insurance premium. Now more than ever, you need an independent insurance agent to find the best value for your family's insurance needs. Crawford Butts, family owned and operated for more than 60 years. Please give us a call at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/JOY.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house? On the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 2 o'clock in mid-America. We've got a cloudy sky. It is currently 91 degrees downtown at the Arch.
On arrival here, we did find that the helicopter was on top of the barge. There was a fire on top of the barge, but it was put out very, very quickly.
That's Corporal Dallas Thompson of the Missouri State Highway Patrol with the update you heard on the radio last hour of the helicopter crash into a barge in the Mississippi River. Let's begin our coverage on the scene with KMOX's Sean Malone. Sean?
Yeah, Michael, we spoke with the Alton Deputy Fire Chief Matthew Fisher, who says that they had a lot of difficulty reaching the barge south of the dam.
We're unable to access it by land, so we had to use our watercraft. It takes time to go through the lock and dam to get through, and by the time we got down there, the tugboat was able to assist us with some water and extinguish the fire.
I had the opportunity to speak with a witness, Adam Briggs. He tells me that he saw a helicopter flying back and forth over the power lines that are over the river, doing work on them, and at some point it connected with the power line, fell and crashed into the barge that you heard Corporal Dallas Thompson with the Missouri State Highway Patrol talk about. The two individuals that were on the helicopter are pronounced dead at the scene. They're still not sure if there are any other injuries reported at this time. Along the banks of the Mississippi River in Missouri, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
And let's go to Maria Keenan now.
Michael, while you know the helicopter crew that died after crashing into the barge was conducting electrical line work, we still don't know the owner. Normally, these assignments are carried out by Ameren. KMOX has reached out to Ameren, Illinois, but have not heard back as yet. JF Electric has several of their vehicles at the scene, so we also left a message for them to determine if perhaps they were doing the contracted work. We are still waiting for a response. And the barge that the chopper crashed into, it has a name on it of Heinz Furlong Line. That's out of state. We've left a message for them as well, and we are waiting to hear back. Michael?
Two rideshare drivers were carjacked by the same teenager.
This is Stuart McMillan outside police headquarters. A 16-year-old boy carjacker was arrested Wednesday night, charged, released, and even driven home by police officers, along with other teens, after an Uber driver was carjacked at gunpoint in North St. Louis and a shot was fired. Then the same 16-year-old was arrested again this morning for another carjacking, this time a Lyft driver. And police got a gun charge on him, so he's being held by city juvenile detention. Both rideshare drivers were not injured.
The Dow from Stiefel down 287 points to 43,905. We've got a stalled vehicle on 270 south at Doherty Ferry on the right shoulder.
Feel as we go through our Thursday afternoon, but there are a couple of thunderstorms that have held together, dropping down from the north and northwest. So I cannot rule out some scattered showers and thunderstorms around going through the afternoon. I don't think it's a lot, but they will be around. and it's quite hot. It's quite humid. 92 for the high. However, if you get under one of these thunderstorms, temperatures will cool back about 10, maybe 12 degrees, and then bounce back up again. So let's keep an eye on the sky, see how this stuff really pulls together, but expect at least a couple of scattered thunderstorms around going through the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. It's warm. It's humid. 73. Friday, sunny, hot and humid. 93. Keep that going through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is a cloudy sky, 89 in St. Peter's, 90 in Florissant, 91 downtown at the Arch. And this just in, when it comes to the top job in St. Louis County government, which is the top local jurisdiction in the state of Missouri, State Senator Brian Williams is announcing that he will run for St. Louis County executive in the August 2026 Democratic primary. That would be presumably against the incumbent Sam Page. Democratic primary there. Senator Williams representing the 14th senatorial district. That'd be University City, Ladue, Ferguson, Bridgeton, and Hazelwood in that slot since 2019. Again, a challenger for St. Louis County executive. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
All right, it's Thursday on the Dave Glover Show. Dave on vacation until, I don't know when he's coming back. Is he coming back this weekend?
I think he comes back either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, so Dave will be back here Monday, and we'll get back to our normal DGS world. The rest of the week, obviously, Rachel Zimmerman, Andrew Stoles, Kevin Wheeler hanging out. We'll have Ricky Horton coming up out of the hour. We'll talk a bit about the Cardinals taking 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, which continues the weird season. Like, out of nowhere, you just go up against one of the best teams and beat them 2 out of 3 on their home field. We'll be talking to our friend Janelle at Holy L on all of the social media outlets, but she's our movie reviewer, so we'll be talking movies, and then she'll hang with us after that. Dave Murray at 3:30 and Mike Elam coming up at 4 o'clock, so we're going to be really busy. And before any of those people go, the headliner goes. That's our friend Brad Young. Brad, welcome in. Good to talk to you again. How you doing this week?
Wheels, doing great, sir. Thank you.
So you got a lot of things that are interesting to me on the list. What do you want to start with? Because I saw a bunch of the ideas that you threw around there. There are a couple of things related to things on the federal level. There's something on the county level. And then there's a deep fake / AI story. So I'm going to let you choose, man. Dealer's choice. Which one of those you want to get into?
Well, I want to start with this AI thing because everybody's talking about AI. It's a problem. We know it's a problem, but what do you do about it? And so California passed a law, I believe it was a couple of years ago, stating that you cannot use deep fakes or AI imagery within a certain period of time before an election. And I think it's 120 days before an election and 60 days after an election, because someone had posted some things on Twitter that were obvious deep fakes about Kamala Harris. And so this was the response, but the judge struck it down as it violates free speech, among other things.
So it's free speech and worry-free to make something up about me that I didn't say or do.
Well,
that sounds more like in the lines of slander or something along those lines, right?
Well, it kind of does, but there's a whole lot of differences. You, like Kamala Harris, are public entities.
That's
You're
right.
Public personalities, right? And the laws are different for people who are in the public eye. Also, politics. Political speech has always been held as the quintessential freedom of speech, right there with religious speech. And so the government is always going to have a wary eye towards any restrictions on political speech. And so in this instance, though, we also have other things going on. And that is that under federal law, you cannot hold an entity like Twitter, like Facebook, like any of these social media platforms, you cannot hold them liable for anything that's posted by any of their subscribers. All right, that's
right.
Not allowed under federal law.
Right.
And yet the California law attempted to bypass federal law, hold Twitter responsible for someone posting things about Kamala Harris that were obvious deepfakes. So the court just struck it down. Now, this is going to go up on appeal, but it doesn't pass constitutional scrutiny. I agree with the court on this, that it doesn't pass constitutional scrutiny because it's not what's called the least restrictive way to stop this kind of behavior.
Sure.
And so the court struck it down, and I think any appellate court would uphold this ruling.
Brad, you just referenced like Section 230, which shields these online platforms from liability.
Correct.
But isn't there like a Good Samaritan clause in there? If you know about this, maybe you could explain it. I thought that meant that if a platform felt inclined, they could step in, and that's not necessarily a violation of free speech at that point.
Correct, because the bottom line is that social media platforms are privately held companies.
Right.
And so if someone posts a deep fake of Wheeler saying something that he didn't say, which, by the way, I think Wheeler said everything that could ever be said.
Well.
All right, but but if someone did that, all right, let's go down that road, and they posted a deep fake of Wheeler saying something, the platform could exercise its right to either take that offline after a complaint or not take it offline. They're not required to do so. Either way, under Section 230.
Is the logic of that simply that I would still have recourse because I could pursue a case of my own, saying you defamed me, you slandered me, whatever?
Right. Exactly. You could have a private cause of action against that person. But then secondly, though, more importantly, I think, from a government standpoint, whether it's California or any state or the federal government, that's under constitutional interpretation. That's not or taking the material off is not the least restrictive way. In fact, the court said, and I'm going to quote, especially as to political speech, counter speech is the tried and true buffer and elixir, not speech restriction, unquote. So they're saying the least restrictive way is to say, Kevin Wheeler come out and say, hey, I didn't say that. Whatever it was, I didn't say that. And for the government to require that a platform remove that material is not the least restrictive way to solve the problem.
So interesting question to me anyway, as a follow-up to this, because obviously political speech is one thing. It's going to be particularly protected. But we're also getting into this whole that concept of a public person, right? So how would this compare to, say, someone pulling a deep fake that is a fake sex tape of a celebrity? Is that going to have the same protections because, hey, it's a public person, it's my free speech?
Right. It would have a lesser degree of protection because it's not political speech. And also you would have recognizable damages. There's a legal theory called false light, which is basically if you put out a deepfake video with someone's face on a porn video and it's not that person, then you're placing them in a bad light. There's nothing political about that. There's nothing religious about that. And that individual who's depicted in the video would certainly have a private cause of action. But you could also request and maybe perhaps even require the third party social media platform to take that down, because in no way would that ever be considered protected speech.
Okay, now let's one more step. I'm testing this legal hat because as I'm thinking about this, to me, these are all the problems that come with what AI is capable of and how easy it is to mistake something that is AI for something that is real. What if you did that same thing, not with a celebrity, but a political candidate? You did the sex tape thing. Is that going to be more protected because it's politics and because it's political speech?
I don't think so. And I don't think it would even be considered political speech, even though like the Kamala Harris deepfake video it was considered parody under one area of the law, but also political speech. But if you shift that over to a fake porn video, number one, porn is not protected speech. And I don't think that any court would interpret a fake porn video as being political speech. So this is why I wanted to lead with this story, because
it's got a lot of levels.
There's so much complexity here, and it's disingenuous to say, oh, it's an easy question, take the speech down. There's so much more to it, and I'm glad we're kind of, pardon the pun, but fleshing that out.
Well, jeez. And Brad, but the thing is, everything that you explain raises another question, which is why I keep going. Like, I didn't have any of these things planned, but as you're explaining, I'm like, okay, that really does make sense, right? I understand it. You're telling us what the law is, but what about this? And then it's the next time, okay, but what about this? Is there anything conceivable to you that we could do as a nation? Is it as simple as we just have to pass federal law that would pass constitutional muster to have a set standard for how we manage AI? Because it's getting crazier, it's getting more real, and we're getting to the point where we cannot tell the difference between reality and something that's completely made up. Is there a way to craft language? Just an opinion. You don't have to craft the language live on the radio, because then you have to bill us. But
exactly.
But can you conceive of a way to where we can put some guardrails on this stuff as it pertains to children, high school and junior high age kids, as it pertains to private citizens? Is it okay, or would it be legally okay to say, hey, listen, anything that is artificially created needs to be marked as such? Like a watermark that proves that this is AI, this is artificially created versus this is the real thing.
Yeah, you could do some guardrails, but only around the margins. And you mentioned a couple already, but for example, you could do things to protect children. There have been limitations imposed on what internet can and cannot do when it comes to children. Those have been sometimes upheld, more likely recently upheld, because the laws are getting better at understanding what infringes on free speech and what doesn't. I think you could potentially require a watermark on anything that's AI generated.
Right.
The problem with that is that you oftentimes don't know, and the proliferation of this material would go beyond any government's ability to monitor it. For example, if someone created this hypothetical Kevin Wheeler deepfake, and then all of a sudden it's spread with like a wildfire online, there would be no way to chase down who did it. There would be no way to police it. And by the time the police even were made aware of it, the issue would be over and done, and we'd be moving on to something else. So it really becomes an enforcement issue, because things online can travel literally at the speed of light, and it becomes difficult, if not impossible, to police it.
But it would give you avenues for punishment or recompense if you did find the person.
Yes, it would. And ultimately, at the end of the day, and I know this sounds extreme, but it's probably going to require a constitutional amendment on AI.
That level, huh?
That level, because any other kind of substantive prohibitions on AI are going to be challenged as political speech. They're going to be challenged because of issues with celebrity status. They're going to be challenged by all these different areas and avenues, that I think the only way you could just create a blanket, consistent rule as it comes to AI would be a constitutional amendment, and we know that that's functionally impossible.
Can't believe the founding fathers never thought of this. Add to the list of things that just 200 years ago, 250 years ago were just not things. All right, let's bring it local for a second, Brad. You had another story about St. Louis County pushing to, I guess, is regulate the right term? Regulate hemp-based products that are intoxicating. Is it regulating? Are they trying to get rid of them? What's the story on that?
Well, this is an issue I even talked about several years ago right here on KMOX, talking about if you legalize marijuana, these are the things that are the natural ramifications or the unintended consequences of ratifying or allowing marijuana to be used legally. And this is it. For example, there's a lot of products called it's hemp-derived Delta 9 or Delta 8. And these are things that are packaged that looks like stuff that kids would buy, and it can be sold anywhere. Because it's not technically THC, although it is intoxicating. And so at this point, they can be sold in gas stations, for goodness sake.
Is it sold beer, or is it something that an 18-year-old could buy?
An 18-year-old can buy it.
Okay,
Anybody
or
can buy it.
A 17-year-old can buy it. It's like buying a soda.
Yeah, it's like buying a soda. There's no restrictions.
Wow, that's interesting.
And the problem becomes it's up now to each locality, like a county or city, to regulate these products. And the city council, or the county council rather, St. Louis County Council, wanted to make these products regulated to the extent they can only be purchased in dispensaries, which essentially means kids can't buy it.
Right.
I think that's anyone reasonable person can agree on this, and yet there's a lot of pushback from the gas station owners and places that are like smoke shops are pushing back on this. And really, I think this is one of those things where common sense people, right, left, center, doesn't matter, can agree that, we don't want candy packaged products or stuff that looks like candy being sold to kids in gas stations. That's dangerous. We don't want that. So the county council is going to come back, I think, at next month's county council meeting and try to issue a regulation that would require that either Delta 9 or Delta 8 can only be sold in a dispensary.
Interesting. I mean, I can understand companies wanting to sell it or wanting to sell it in the places that they currently are, because we sell beer and other things in those types of places too. But I would think that if something alters your state of mind, it should be 21 and older.
Absolutely. And this is an argument that I always think is a specious argument. But the people who testified at the county council meeting against this said, well, essentially, if we're not allowed to sell this legally, then there's going to be a black market and these products are going to be sold anyway. Well, you could make the same argument about murder. Okay, you could make the same argument about anything. Well, we have to legalize this to cut down on the black market. But no. Something that's legal or regulated or not is a reflection of our values. And if we don't want kids buying this, then we can't allow them just to buy it anywhere. And if they buy it on the black market, that's on them.
Then they got face legal. Then they face legal trouble their own right. Yeah,
exactly. And so might the parents. Like we're seeing right now in the city of St. Louis, this attempt to try to hold the parents responsible for the crimes of their children, which is a whole nother topic. All right, which I have a lot of legal issues with. But the bottom line is, we don't want to allow something just because there might be a black market for it.
Brad, you're the best. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.
My pleasure, guys.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm: auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Jenna Fisher. And I'm Angela Kinsey. And together we have the podcast Office Ladies. Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere. Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 36494, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome. Visit lombardohomes.com for more information.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how to build your retirement on your terms. Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros, just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Are you back in on DGS? We've got our buddy Ricky Horton coming up after 2:30 to talk Cardinals. Right now, though, we're still tracking the story of the helicopter crash in Alton, and Michael Calhoun is in from the KMOX newsroom with the very latest.
Thank you, Kevin. It's 2:25. Maria Keena's here with me, and this is, if you're just tuning in, a helicopter did crash into the Mississippi River into a barge near Alton this morning. 2 people have confirmed to have died, and Maria Keena's here with more details on that. Maria?
Michael, we just received this statement from Ameren Communications, and they say attributed to an Ameren spokesperson. They don't give us a name. It says, "We are saddened about today's tragic incident. Our thoughts and heartfelt condolences are with the victims, families, and colleagues. We will cooperate with the investigation." It then goes on to say an Ameren contractor and its subcontractor was repairing and replacing tower lights and marker balls along the line there in Madison County, Illinois. There are no power outages associated with today's events. So it's a very brief statement, and it sounds like these are not Ameren workers.
But they were doing work on the Ameren electrical infrastructure from an electrical company likely contracted by Ameren.
Correct.
To do this.
And one of those companies, because we see several trucks out there, is JF Electric. And when I called them, I did speak with someone, and they said we are absolutely not going to comment on this. So you kind of got the feeling at that point that there might have been something that happened,
of course,
with their crew.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Sean Malone is on the scene. We're going to hear from him coming up at 3 o'clock as well. But again, it appears that contractors for Ameren were the ones on board of that helicopter that crashed into a barge in the Mississippi River, killing 2 people this morning. Kevin?
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate it. And obviously, a horrible story. But this is why we have the newsroom that we do, because we can track down the story, get you the real details as they happen, and obviously be as early on in that process as we can while also being right. So great work by Michael and Maria and Sean today. Horrible, tragic story. But news is that sometimes, you know, sometimes it's the fun story. Sometimes here on KMOX, we're talking baseball or covering something exciting, something really cool, and other times it's something tragic, but nonetheless it requires all of the time and attention and resources that we have. And you know, not to pat the station on the back, but I can do that a little bit. But this is why we do what we do, to make sure that when things happen, especially important things happen, we've got you with all the latest information that you may need to know.
Absolutely. And I would encourage folks to follow KMOX News on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We are covering this story and then, of course, retweeting various reporters who are covering it as well. So that's kind of up to the minute information, as well as listening to our program today. We'll keep bringing you updates on this story.
And I mention this all the time when it comes to segments, topics, guests, whatever. If you miss anything and you're on the Odyssey app, you can always rewind a little bit. So if you missed that report with Michael, you could do that. Top of the hour news, same thing. And of course, we'll keep on keeping on as we go. In fact, we'll be joined by Ricky Horton, talk a little Cardinals baseball coming up next here on DGS.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
Talking about First Missouri Credit Union, and we kind of highlighted a couple things. First of all, I think it's enough reason to change your checking account over to First Missouri, or at least move some of it over, because you may be getting a free checking account. You may be getting charged on your checking account, but you're certainly, because we have the highest rate in town, we know that, you're certainly not getting 4.27% on your checking up to $100,000. Now, I would get it, being a lazy piece of crap, that if it were really difficult, it's like it was 20 or 30 years ago, and you have to bring in a bunch of documents and sit at someone's desk for 90 minutes. It's not. I opened up my accounts about a year and a half ago, and it literally took me 10, 15, maybe at the most 20 minutes. So you can make a lot more money for a 20-minute investment. If you're looking to buy a car rather than talking to the old finance manager when you've made your deal with the salesperson, go to First Missouri first and see what kind of rate we can get you. 314-544-5050 or the number 1 STMOCU.org.
Time to check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast, which is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, pennmutual.com/STL.
Temperatures are up and the humidity is up. Mainly sunny skies. However, there are a few scattered thunderstorms that have dropped in from the northwest, and they will be in play as we go through the afternoon. Not everybody sees them, but be alert, there will be some thunder and lightning around and some downpours of rain. Get under those things, and the high of 92 will cool back very quickly into the low 80s and then bounce back again. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid, 73. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, summertime, sunny, hot, and humid with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center, and you have to know that you are somebody's favorite person, and your health matters not just to you, but it matters to people who care about you. Getting screened early for any cancer, whether it's colon or breast cancer, prostate cancer, or lung cancer, it is important to do that. Siteman has set up a website called GetScreenedNow.com. And when you go to it, it's going to help you find a location nearer you. If you live a little farther out from St. Louis and don't want to make the trip into the city, you can get screened closer to home. GetScreenedNow.com, because for me, I'm over 45. It's time for that colonoscopy. Third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women. And GetScreenedNow.com will help you find a location that is good for you. Doing it early, really, really important. GetScreenedNow.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovite 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovite.com.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After proving the doctors wrong following my accident, I got back to baseball, started kicking field goals, and finally got paid as a pro kicker and ultimately became a leader in the marketing world. That's why I trust Renner Garage Door, exceeding expectations for over 65 years. They service, sell, and install top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Get your free quote today. Check them out at RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our segment with Ricky Horton is brought to you by Goodwill. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
All right, 2:33 on DGS. Dave's still on vacation. He will be back on Monday. And obviously the rest of us here, Rachel, Andrew, Kevin, rolling all through this afternoon. We'll be talking movies with Janelle. That's at Holy L on all the social media outlets. That'll be coming up top of the hour. Dave Murray at 3:30, Mike Elam at 4. And as Rach just pointed out, our buddy Ricky Horton is joining us now to talk a little ball. How you doing, Ricky?
I'm doing great, Wheels. How are you?
Good, good. I've described this season a lot of times this year as being a little bit weird. And in this case, the weird was good. Yeah, you've been struggling a little bit. You sold at the deadline, and then you get out to L.A. and face the mighty Dodgers and take 2 out of 3.
Isn't it crazy? Well, even when the weird is good, the weird's still a little weird. I mean, we could have an inning where the Dodgers scored a run without a hit on a wild pitch, a stolen base, and an error, and the guy got out on a walk, and it's like, wait a minute, is this kind of one of those little league home runs is what it was like? But but that's going to happen with a young team. You're going to have moments like that, and we're going to say, wow, that is weird, and then yet they have the capability of doing something that wows you, like beating the Dodgers 2 out of 3, especially that last game. You're up against Ohtani. He's jamming, and he's not going to go very deep in the game, Wheels. He had a 4-inning kind of pitch limit, or inning limit, but still to be able to come back against that Dodger staff was pretty good.
He was so good.
Oh man, yeah.
There has never been a unicorn like him before. I mean, there may have been people with similar skills that were just not allowed to develop both sides, right? Because usually you have to pick one or the other, or the team picks for you. But it's just, every time I watch him, it's just, he's fast, he hits nukes, and he throws 100, and he knows what he's doing on the mound. It's not just a guy out there throwing 100.
You have these crazy dreams of what would have happened if you could kind of get in the DeLorean and send him back to the 27 Yankees and say, hey, we got a new player from Japan. His name's Shohei Ohtani. Babe, you're going to play right field. Ohtani's going to play. Gehrig, you're going to have to DH, I guess. What's the DH? But the point is, you put Ohtani in that, he would absolutely mash. I mean, honestly, I'm not one of those that thinks older is always better, and I think we evolve, and now Babe Ruth was clearly the best player of his time times 100, but Ohtani would have been like eye-dropping in that era, if you could possibly imagine it. And he had an at-bat, I think it was Newt where he threw 97 at the knees, he threw 98 middle away, and he threw 101 up. So pitchers like to elevate. You change eye level, right? You change speeds, but he just had that extra speed on the way up, and that was just a perfect exhibition of pitching to me.
Rick, I've always believed that every generation of stars would be great in any generation. So if Babe Ruth grew up and he was born in 1990, he would be as good as any of the stars now, because it's a combination of the gifts and work ethic that makes you what you are.
Yeah, I think Babe Ruth would probably have a different diet and a different lifestyle if he was playing now.
And
you can imagine his agent.
Built more like Kyle Schwarber, right? A little more muscle up there.
He would be Schwarber. That's probably right. And yet, Babe, think about the strength he had. I mean, I've seen some video of him, and think about the fact that he had balls I mean, he led the league in home run, and he beat several teams in home runs in that particular year when the home run flourished. And yes, I agree 100%. And plus, I was actually thinking about on the air the other day, what would have happened had there been a DH in Babe's time?
Yeah.
Would he be a 300-game winner? He probably would be. They probably would have. They would have pitched him, and then just let him DH and let somebody else play right field, and I think that would have been a different career.
That's a great point. If now we are a little more creative, and obviously there are more avenues to do it. But that's very legit possibility because he was an all-star pitcher before he had to go become a hitter, where Ohtani's just never had to make that right at 20, right?
At 2021, he's in a World Series. I mean, he was 100%, and he just gave that up because he was hitting balls nobody could find anymore, and it's like, okay, this is better. But it is fun to watch the best. I can tell you at Dodger Stadium, I had a couple of moments. I was down on the field early before the game, and I kind of soaked in. This used to be my home, kind of my home away from home, and so I had my little personal moment, and then I had a moment just sitting there realizing that I was doing a game that the best player in the history of the planet Earth is playing in, not only pitching but also hitting, and sometimes you consider yourself lucky for being where you are.
Yeah, I love those old places. When you've had a chance to be in them, they're just really, really cool. So before we go into more Cardinal stuff, just a offshoot of that conversation, Ricky, I do wish that Major League Baseball was more open to allowing players to develop both ways. I've seen players over the years. I watched them play in college. Brooks Kieschnick was one of those guys. You probably remember him as a bit of a role player, but he was a rock star in college as a 3-hole DH and as a Friday night starter. And I'm not saying it's easy, and I don't think very many people can do it, but I do think the number of people who can do it is greater than one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it is greater than one, and I think he was afforded the opportunity to do that. It would certainly be a whole new wave of how do you develop a player like that.
Yeah.
And if you had that kind of track, maybe one of our middle relievers right now, maybe one of our starters would be Mason Wynn, if you think about that.
Yeah.
When he was drafted out of high school, he was more of a pitcher than he was a hitter, and they had to make that decision. I was around Gary LaRocque when they were going through that with him. The guy's throwing upper 90s, and he's got a cannon, but if he's going to be an everyday shortstop, that's maybe more valuable for us. So a little bit like what happened with Babe Ruth.
Yeah. It's just it's a fascinating thing, and it makes it hard because you've got to take care of a lot of your body, and you got to get enough repetition at each thing to be good at each thing. But as Shohei has shown us, it can be done. It can be done. It's not something that everyone can do.
Agreed.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the team and specifically what we saw in LA, Ricky, with the bullpen. I thought it's going to be an interesting thing to watch develop over the next couple of months. But we saw Riley O'Brien get a chance to finish a game. We saw Jojo Romero get a chance to finish games and pitch in really big leverage spots. And I know a lot of guys are going to kind of get those looks. And that's part of what's interesting about the next 2 months, because this will obviously have some kind of impact on what this bullpen looks like next year.
Yeah, so if you're the Cardinals pitching coaches and you're, Julio Ronel, who's coordinating the bullpen, and Dusty Blake, you're always kind of realizing that there's always a plus going on and a minus going on, and the plus is clearly Jojo Romero and Riley O'Brien and Swanson on that road trip. Swanson was good too, and all three of them were outstanding. And the guys that kind of had and I would say Graceffa was good, better than his numbers probably, but you still kind of got to get Fernandez going back again. I thought he was around the corner, but had a blip in L.A. Hopefully that was just one game. And Granillo kind of up and down too. So you're always trying to fix something, but you're also auditioning guys. How does that look like? Does that look right to have Riley O'Brien pitching in the ninth inning? It kind of does when he's throwing 98 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so I mean I think there is a bit of a kind of a looking forward thing going on right now. You're still trying to win games, but you're also looking forward.
Yeah, and with Riley, I mean, you can see the stuff is there. I mean, when you're throwing 100, and he does have what can be a pretty quality breaking ball. Right now, it kind of ranks about league average. It's not terrible, but with a little refinement, it might be a little more dangerous. You do that and maybe throw a few more strikes, and now you've got a leverage guy, and he's already pitching great. I mean, he's got a 1.84 ERA. He's striking out a batter per inning, so there's a lot to like. The whip is good, so even with a few walks, he doesn't give up a lot of hits, and he really does a good job of controlling hard contact. I think he's been, like, on a rate basis, top 5% in baseball in terms of how much hard contact he allows.
Yeah, no, and so I think he's got the upside, but again, the consistency is the question.
Right.
I would encourage everybody who's not kind of tuned in just for a little bit to watch the Little League World Series stuff that's going on. And now you have to get past the fact that I watched a guy from Nebraska throw 8 sliders in a row, and I'm already thinking about going back to med school and signing up to be his orthopedic, because he's going to come C1 very soon to be throwing that many breaking pitches at the age of 11 or 12. But the point is, you watch him or any of those guys I was watching today, they would throw a pretty good pitch, and then the next one would be off to the backstop.
Right.
And so the inconsistency of a 12-year-old, and then you get to the big leagues, and that inconsistency has to be gone. And you slow down the bad pitches as you move up, and you get to AAA. You shouldn't make many mistakes there. You make some, but you get to the big leagues, you're going to throw 12 pitches. They all have to be good, and that's next level for some of these young Cardinal pitchers, including Riley O'Brien.
It's interesting you go here, Ricky, because this is a topic we've been talking about, somewhat related to J.J. Weatherholt's emergence, because he's obviously just unbelievably good. He's dominated AA. He's dominating AAA. But we've had questions about like prospects and guys that have been great in the minors and that doesn't translate in the majors, hitters. And that was kind of what I was getting into, is like, okay, when you're maybe the biggest, strongest player on the field in A ball or AA, pitchers make a lot more mistakes, so your flaws don't get as exposed. And what would you say the difference is, Ricky, between a AA pitcher and a major league pitcher in terms of like mistakes per game that are like real mistakes? Because I would say it's maybe 1 in 15 for a major league pitcher, and it's probably 1 in 3 or 4 for a AA pitcher.
I remember being a kid listening to Tom Seaver on a post-game show in New York saying, I make about 4 mistakes a game. And this is a guy throwing 100 pitches.
Right.
And so in his case, it was 1 in 25. Well, if you do that, you're in the Hall of Fame, I guess, as long as your pitches are good. And what he was saying, but it's not that every pitch was perfect, but when we talk about a mistake, just so people get that, I mean, you're talking about a hang and slider or a changeup in the middle, or a fastball middle with nothing on it and no finish to it. I mean, that's a real mistake. And again, counts come into play there. But I think big leaguer, I think you're right. I think maybe, say 1 in 20 or 1 in 15, you make a mistake. But in AAA, it's going to be more like 1 in 8, or maybe in AA about the same, maybe a little bit less. The AA guys and AAA guys, it is a little different now. The development thing, they're kind of pushing guys into the prospects are typically in AA. The AAA guys are former big leaguers who are trying to stay in game and get a shot. And honestly, there are many people that would say AA and AAA baseball isn't as good as it used to be because there are more teams. I don't know if that's true, but I think you can make a case for that.
Sure, and you're right. They do treat it differently, and I know AAA can be a wild environment because not everybody's happy to be there.
No, that's right.
Everybody at AA is like they're young, right? They're all on the same level of development, roughly, right? But you get to AAA and you've got grown men that have spent time in the big leagues and they're 31 and they don't want to be there. They think they should be. And I know some teams try to avoid having their really high end prospects exposed to that for too long.
Yeah, and there's a little difference in development now. I think back in the George Kissel era, George Kissel would say, you win, you get developed. I mean, we're here to win. This is your big leagues, is what he would tell us. So when you're in AA, this is your big league. You win here, and if you win, we'll move you up next year. That's how it is. Not all of you, but we'll move up the players that have earned it.
Right.
And so that's what you're thinking. Now it's like, okay, this guy's the number one. What do we do to make this guy better? And you're going to kind of focus on him, I would say, play him in positions to make him a big leaguer faster. And, so the team thing is a little harder to come by, I think, now on the development. But you still want both. You still want to win. You still want to develop. But I think more developing the stars is kind of our process now.
All right, Ricky, enjoy the off night. You guys get one of those rare off days here during the baseball season, and then we kick things off with the Cubs and the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. That starts a 9-game homestand. So enjoy being home. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Yeah, big homestand. Thanks, Kevin.
Do you know that by donating your gently used items to Goodwill, you're not only giving those items a new life, but you're helping people right here in your community enrich their lives with meaningful work? Your donations support Goodwill's mission of helping people with barriers to employment to be able to get rewarding jobs which provide not only a paycheck, but a very important sense of purpose. Your donations really do change lives. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Cardinals fans, join the conversation at Busch Stadium with some of your favorite former Cardinals. With the Cardinals Conversations presented by Edward Jones, you'll hear from former Cardinals such as Ozzie Smith, Ted Simmons, Ray Langford, David Eckstein, or David Freese. Each conversation hosted by Cardinals announcers Chip Carey or Brad Thompson. Your experience also will include a ticket to the game, a pre-signed photo, and the opportunity to take your photo with the featured player. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/conversations.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Universal Windows Direct. We have all been feeling the heat. If your home isn't staying cool, your windows might be the reason why. You can blast the AC all day, but if your windows aren't doing their job, all that cool air is just literally going right out the window. That's why it's a perfect time to call Universal Windows Direct if your home feels warm and stuffy or your energy bills are climbing higher every single month. Also a great time to call. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Got 8 windows that need replacing. You only need to pay for 4. It's just that simple. And no interest for 5 whole years. That's 60 months of 0 interest financing. So don't wait for next year's heat wave or cold snap to remind you. Call 314-334-2522. You can also visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Been with these guys for quite a while now, and they are very good people. Lots of people from the DGS have reached out to them. Many people have received bids. Many people have used them with great satisfaction. 314-334-2522, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
All right, Thursday, DGS. Dave on vacation, back on Monday. The rest of us still kicking it around here. Rach, you had a story on the rundown today that I almost put on, but then once I saw you did, I did not put it on there. But grown-ups are using pacifiers, huh?
Yeah, saw this in the New York Post. So adults, not little babies, but adults, are swapping out melatonin and meditation for a pacifier to kind of calm their nerves and help them go to sleep. They say things like, I feel a sense of safety from childhood whenever I use my binky. Which it's like, you know what? I don't like to judge, but this might just be a little weird for a couple of reasons. First of all, you usually get rid of the binky around like 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it's good for your teeth.
It is not.
But then also, like, what is the binky replicating? It's the comfort of like nursing.
Yeah.
When you're an adult.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be nursing.
Yeah, like we've moved past the nursing. I get you have anxiety. I have anxiety too. I don't want to judge. Again, I've never tried the binky. Maybe it would change my life. But I'm looking at that as kind of like a last resort type of option to deal with anxiety and stress.
I mean, I get that. Apparently, I guess I read that same story and I was like, what? Like, I never thought. I mean, I just assumed that, like, okay, people that were at raves did it because they're on X and it's just a sensation that's you're like, and also you're being intentionally kind of goofy and weird, right? You're kind of, it's just a thing.
Yes.
I would suggest that there might be other ways that are easier. And I mean, I don't know. If you were like meeting someone and maybe going out on a date and getting to know them, and then they drop that on you, hey, by the way, and then or you just see them doing it, like they're in bed at night and they pop that. I'm like, bye. Yeah, I'm leaving. See ya. Nice knowing you. Have a nice night.
You think they're going for the retainer?
Yeah.
In the bedside table, and then it turns out it's a pacifier. Yeah, that would be kind of an immediate no for me.
And again, do what you want to do.
Right, there's nothing illegal about it.
Not saying you're a bad person. I'm saying it's a little strange.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's like, I feel like we could do better than this. There's probably a better solution other than sucking on a pacifier as an adult person.
And you know what's the most annoying thing about it is people aren't being told this is a good idea by professionals. They're seeing it on TikTok.
Right.
You're seeing people say it on TikTok, and then you're doing it, and they're like, well, one person will be like, well, I've been doing it for years, and it hasn't messed up my teeth. Sure. Okay, A, prove it. B, okay, so you're the lucky one.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else could end up with thousands of dollars in dental work as a result of following your advice, which is not the advice of a professional. See, this would be my advice. And it's not to listen to me. It's not to listen to me or to any of my... It's to seek out the opinions and the advice of people that are professional. So if you have anxiety... And again, I get it. Everybody has their own version of those things. That's totally normal. Totally should not be made fun of. Should never be the butt of the joke. It's just that when you want to get advice, medical advice, psychological advice, get it from professionals. Don't get it from TikTok.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate for a second here. I think because affordable healthcare, especially affordable mental health care, is so out of reach for people, it doesn't really shock me that people do hear this kind of advice on TikTok and go like, oh, so I could just pay like $4 for a pacifier and try that. You see why people make the choice, but you're absolutely right, Wheels. You can't just go along with something because you saw it on a post. It could be really bad for you, really damaging for you socially and health-wise.
And even if you can't go visit a professional, Google will find professional opinions, journalists, articles written as part of medical journals, whatever specific area you're looking at. Again, can be just regular medicine, because we talked about this last week, or was it earlier this week, about people taking health tips from random dudes and girls on Twitter or on TikTok who you have no idea what their backgrounds are. You don't know what they're doing, and they're saying that they're this or that, but then real doctors see it and go, yep, that's not real. That's not true. That's not a thing. But there are resources that you can find with real information that aren't just somebody on the TikTok that you follow. Right?
Correct. I regret to inform you, there are a lot of websites about using adult pacifiers.
Oh, no.
A lot of online stores. There's quite the market for this.
And that's just in my history.
I'm sure you'll find a lot backing your position from people trying to sell you those things. Yes.
So I have said over the years that with Dr. Maltman and BioBalance Health, that when I'm at the end of my pellet schedule, that I don't feel it all that much. Well, I have an addendum. I am at the end of my pellet schedule. I was supposed to have them replaced, I think, on July 8th, but I hadn't gotten my blood drawn yet because that's typically how I am. And so it's put off until August 19th, and I maybe try to get a testosterone shot in there because I'm not feeling great. Now, it doesn't mean I'm feeling bad. It just just means that I'm feeling 60 because that's what I am without the testosterone pellets. With the pellets, 45, 50, as far as just sexual feelings and, in the gym and how tired are you? And like Wheels always talks about the heavy legs and things like that. I don't feel like it's cheating. They're bioidentical hormone replacement. There's no risk to them. Right next door is BioBalance Skin, where you can get things like Botox and chemical peels and filler and such. For all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
I had heard about 3-day kitchen and bath. I kind of always dismissed it thinking, well, nobody can do that in 3 days. I wanted somebody who was going to come when they said they would come and, do what they said they were going to do. What I liked best was having it done in, less than a week. The whole thing from top to bottom. Nobody could believe that I really had it done that fast. They absolutely held up to every single thing that they agreed to. I especially loved the fact that I didn't have to go out all over town. The overall quality was very good. All the workmanship was so excellent. They'll definitely do exactly what they say they're going to do. There's no surprises, no added costs later. They stay until everything's exactly the way you want it, and you're done.
Thanks, Lori. Check us out online at 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Feel like your paycheck barely keeps up with your life? At the Financial Freedom Seminar, learn how real people are building passive income and retiring early using real estate. It's all happening live in St. Louis with Lifestyles Unlimited, September 27th and 28th. You'll leave with a step-by-step plan to change your future. Text radio to 88007. That's live in St. Louis, September 27th and 28th. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex, which is available at Supplement Superstores. It is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed. Here's what it does for me and what it will do for you. Optimizes thyroid function, which gets your metabolism rocking and rolling, helps you with appetite and craving control. All-day focused energy comes with that, plus the reduced cortisol levels helps you get a better night's sleep. So get out to Supplement Superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll knock 30% off the 213 Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 3 o'clock in mid-America. We've got some rain in the region. Right now it's 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. Our developing story, 2 are dead after a helicopter crashed into a barge on the Mississippi River.
A helicopter doing work on electrical lines that run across the Mississippi River fell out of the sky and crashed into a barge below before catching fire. According to Deputy Fire Chief Matthew Fisher with the Alton Fire Department, he says that the 2 occupants of the helicopter were pronounced dead at the scene. However, he says that's as far as the victims go.
No other injuries are noted, and we don't have any leaks on the boat, the barge.
Fisher says they, along with a flurry of other first responders, had a difficult time making it to the barge quickly because it is located south of the Melvin Price Lock and Dam. Along the banks of the Mississippi River, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
I'm Maria Kina. Ameren has now confirmed to KMOX that a contractor and subcontractor were doing work along the power lines on the Mississippi River when the helicopter crash happened. Both occupants of the chopper died. Ameren released a statement to KMOX. It reads, quote, "We are saddened about today's tragic incident. Our thoughts and heartfelt condolences are with the victims, families, and colleagues. We will cooperate with the investigation." An Ameren contractor and its subcontractor were repairing and replacing tower lighting and marker balls on lines in Madison County, Illinois, unquote. That's when the catastrophic crash happened. There are no power outages associated with today's events.
Eyewitness Adam Briggs says he called 911 right away when he realized what had happened.
It was a long, played-out scene. It took quite some time to get anyone there, so it was difficult to watch.
Briggs was fishing at the time. He tells KMOX he saw the chopper make trips back and forth across the river doing maintenance on those power transmission lines. At one point, he says a worker was outside of the side of the helicopter attempting to place one of those aerial marker balls, and Briggs says he looked down, heard an explosion, and then saw the helicopter fall. In other news, when will it start to feel like fall?
It may be a while. It looks like September is going to be pretty close to, if not maybe a smidge above average temperature-wise across the area, which means we'll probably still have some nosing of heat into the area.
AccuWeather long-range expert Joe Lundberg says we could still experience storms in September. He says taken together, temperatures should be average through September, October, and November. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman announces that his company will roll out ChatGPT-5, a new version of the AI chatbot.
With GPT-4, maybe it was like talking to a college student. Real intelligence, real utility. But with GPT-5, now it's like talking to an expert, a legitimate PhD-level expert in anything, any area you need, on demand, that can help you with whatever your goals are.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now with Stifel's Kevin Monton. Kevin?
Thanks, Michael. It was a pretty unfull day for the major averages, with the Dow closing down 224 at 43,968, S&P lost 5 at 6340, NASDAQ was positive 25 at 21,194, and the Bloomberg St. Louis Index was positive 1 at 1553. Stocks to the upside, Amdocs gained 5% at 88.87, and Bayer was up 2% at 740. To the downside, Stifel was off 1.3% at 110.30, and Energizer continuing its losing ways, down 2.2% at 29.06. This has been Kevin Monton, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a stalled vehicle 70 West at I-170. That's in the right lane. Also a stall 70 East at First Capitol Drive. That's got the right shoulder blocked.
Temperatures are up and the humidity is up. Mainly sunny skies. However, there are a few scattered thunderstorms that have dropped in from the northwest, and they will be in play as we go through the afternoon. Not everybody sees them, but be alert. There will be some thunder and lightning around and some downpours of rain. Get under those things, and the high of 92 will cool back very quickly into the low 80s and then bounce back again. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid, 73. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, summertime, sunny, hot, and humid with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Sachs Financial. Right now, we've got 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. Developing story we're following. State Senator Brian Williams says he'll be a candidate for St. Louis County Executive in the Democratic primary next year. More on that. You'll hear from him through the afternoon. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial, retiresafestl.com. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work with a financial advisor? Are you in your 50s or early 60s and really haven't talked to anybody about how you retire? Give me a call today. Check out our website, retiresafestl.com.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Dave Glover Show here on Thursday. Dave on vacation, back on Monday. Rachel Zimmerman, Andrew Stoles, Kevin Wheeler hanging out, and our friend Janelle is in at Holy L everywhere on the internets.
Everywhere on the internet.
Everywhere on the internets, and obviously you are our resident. What kind of movie title do you want? Do you want to be our resident movie analyst, reviewer, aficionado?
I don't know. I mean,
Expert? Would you like to be our expert?
I heard Bernie Miklaus give us movie critics such, high praise for the Happy Gilmore too. I was like, well, maybe I'll just start analyzing baseball then.
Well, you better ask Andrew about The Naked Gun then, because he saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I heard that he liked it, but I agree with him. There's so many jokes you almost don't have. They're I don't want to say they're easy to forget, but it's impossible. You have to watch that movie like a few times. I mean, like I think the only reason we remember like our Leslie Nielsen jokes is because we probably have seen it
a million times,
right? Dozens and dozens of times. So.
Yeah, because back in the day, there weren't a million movies. You just watched the same ones over and over
exactly
again.
Right.
It's super good, and you will definitely like laugh the entire time. But there's the just sheer number of like
stuff is happening in the background.
Yeah, little tiny silly gags.
Just like the original one, it was always that. There's something happening everywhere, and you don't even notice it.
Yeah, like
Airplane
Janelle said,
was like
every shot there's like some kind of a little gag or joke.
Airplane was like that too.
Yes.
Where like inside the shots, you'd have the main person talking, but there's something happening behind him, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it.
Yeah, which is why it's good to go back and watch those movies over and over again. But yeah,
and they almost all hit.
Yeah,
there's very few gags where I was like, yeah, I don't know about that one. Like they pretty much all hit.
Yeah. It's a enjoyable movie. It isn't stressful. It isn't invoking anything.
Is it relatively short?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an hour and 25 minutes.
It's like 90 minutes, yeah.
I would say there's only one little kind of hokey part towards the end, and it has to do with a bird.
Oh, yeah. even that one was like silly enough. You know what I mean?
But
like,
you're like, oh, okay.
I smiled.
Right. Even then you were like, oh, okay. I think
all
right.
We're stretching believability now.
All right.
My dad really loved the part where the joke where he said, it's true that old men are the smartest and most capable and strongest and best people in America. he really liked that joke.
Yeah, like I said, it's a happy movie.
Good.
We don't get a lot of happy movies. I think that one's a pretty happy movie.
Well, they don't do comedies very much.
Not a lot anymore at all.
I think we might have talked about this, but in case we didn't, is that simply because it's getting harder and harder to please everyone?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, like there's a certain type of humor that we've gone towards now too, which is an uncomfortable, like Friendship came out earlier this year, and I thought it was great. It's a very funny movie, but it's very uncomfortable, awkward humor.
Okay.
So, and I think a lot of, I think we've moved towards that, and it is hard because you got to figure out how to not offend anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. To me, the two, I was telling Andrew and I were talking about this the other day and just in the office that I have a hard time both with comedies and horror movies. Like it's hard to please me. And I love both kinds.
Right.
But in the last handful of years, last 10 years, those two genres have disappointed me more than any others.
Yes, because you don't fist fight vampires, we know.
No, but see, I know my sense of humor is a little bit on the ridiculous side. Like, I love the Borat movies. I love Jackass.
Well, and I think that was the reason, like I mean, like I said, I'm not taking away from anybody that the audience seemed to love Naked Gun. The
reviews have been great, across the board.
It's like 89, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
People genuinely enjoy that movie. I snorted a couple times, but like my humor leans towards more of like 11-year-old boy kind of humor. like I don't want to say there's a certain kind of joke, like just crude humor, and it's not that
farts and poops.
Yeah, unlike that highbrow Jackass stuff that I like.
No, that's kind of what I'm talking about, and you're just kind of like, okay, but it's like I get it. Like I said, this was much. There are a couple jokes that are, like I said, they tell one about Bill Cosby that you're like, oh, and that I kind of snort at that. But they're trying to keep them pretty sanitized, I think, right now. So
you want the biggest audience you can get.
Sure.
I mean, that's a big part. That's a large part of movie making.
And there are, there are still like a little, there's some adult themes in the middle of that movie that involve a snowman.
Okay. Yep, that's enough of a tease.
That was fun.
We can leave it at that.
Right.
It was like a whole separate movie they put in.
Yeah, you did. For a while, you start to kind of like,
it lasts like 6 minutes. It's so good.
Did they just do this to fool me into seeing this?
It's very funny.
It takes a turn. It does, for real. Yeah.
So that's a positive. This is a good movie. Go ahead and see it if you're looking for something fun on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I advocate that most people go see. I did see Freakier Friday on. Yeah. And
oh, cool!
Yes.
I'm excited for this movie.
It's very much like the first. They have if you have not seen the first one, you have to see the first one before you go see the second one because there's tons of characters, callbacks, old jokes that they bring in. as enjoyable as the first one. I think it probably went a little too long. I think it's like an hour and 51 minutes. There's probably about 15 minutes where it drags a little bit. But other than that, it's a respectable movie.
All right.
I don't know if I would pay necessarily. I don't know if I'd pay $20 to go see it, but you have those $5 and $6 days now at the movies. Or get yourself a membership where you're paying $20 a month and you can go every day during the week or several weekends.
A couple times.
Right.
Yeah.
So how was Lindsay Lohan's performance? Because she's been kind of gone and out of the spotlight, and she's done like a couple of things here and there, but I feel like this is kind of her big comeback role.
Did you see the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the movie. She's so good in the first one. Jamie Lee Curtis is so good.
I actually think she's better than Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she outacts her in the first, even in the first one as a child. I don't know how old she is. I say child. She could have been 18. I have no idea. But I think it's like you see all the talent that was there, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. I root for her.
Me too.
I don't want to be like focusing on the work that she's had done, but she looks amazing. I want the best for her. I know she's had a rough time of it, and you see her trying to come back, and she had all the talent. I think it's a good movie for her to kind of jump back into, and it's been 22 years since the first one. And her and Jamie Lee Curtis have the exact same comedic chemistry that they had in the first one. I think it was nice to see her kind of hit a home run.
That's good to hear. I mean, like, just my age group, Lindsay Lohan was the it girl. Right. Like, 100%. But she had so many problems, and it was such a bummer because she is extremely talented. Freaky Friday might have been, she was really good in Parent Trap, honestly. Right. But Freaky Friday was like, she's acting alongside a great actor like Jamie Lee Curtis and just really proving herself. I love that they got back together and did this. And I guess they did it because I had heard because Lindsay Lohan visited her with her newborn baby or something, and they snapped a selfie and posted it, and people went so crazy that they were like, oh, we should do a second Freaky Friday.
It worked. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like I said, it was 22 years after the first one. What was Happy Gilmore? 29?
Yeah. Same idea. Yeah.
And everybody's been doing movies where it's like 32 years since the first one, so you're like
28 years later.
Right.
Yeah.
So you might as well just jump ahead. You just jump on that bandwagon of sequels that have 2 decades in between each movie. So, I give her, like I said, I think it's a good movie for her to start off. I think if she would have done something a lot riskier and a lot more adult, people would have been like, what are you doing? But I think this was kind of like, again, going to sanitize. I think it was a good way for her to get her foot into that.
Anything else we need to bring up? Any other movies?
Weapons came out today.
Did you see it?
No, it came. The first screening you could get was $2.17 today, and Andrew thanked me for not ditching the show.
Because that's one I'm really interested in. Because again, I love the horror genre. It's just I'm tough to please in that.
From last time I saw it was still holding at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right.
And take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how many reviews had come in, but it's supposed to be pretty strong. Yeah, and the understanding for the reason that they had viewings at 2:17 today was because I guess there's something in the movie. I guess all the kids walk out at 2:17 in the morning.
Okay. All right.
So,
okay, that's pretty good marketing.
I just looked at a screenshot from the movie and I got scared.
Stuff with kids is
spooky.
Creepy, right?
Yeah.
Like any creepy stuff with kids is got the potential to be extra creepy.
Yeah, and it seems a lot. I don't want to say zombie, but like some of the trailers that I've seen have. Yeah, it looks.
I'm definitely interested in it. I want to see if it's going to be like if it stays getting good review. But then again, so this is the same guy that made Barbarian, right?
Yes.
See, there was a lot of that I liked, and then there were parts where I was like, "Oh, come on, you ruined it."
Oh, that's how people felt. I think Monkey right now is out on Hulu, and that was by Osgood Perkins, who did Longlegs.
Longlegs, I felt the same thing.
Yeah,
like some of it was like, "Oh, that was good," and then you're like, come on.
Oh, you need to make a movie then.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Put me in touch with somebody. Just can we have a story that doesn't have a hole in it the size of a semi?
No, I think most movies have a huge.
And especially
plot.
like horror ones. It's hard to do. I get it because you're either supernatural.
Sure. Well, horror has to be supernatural.
Well, it doesn't always.
No, horror by its definition has a supernatural element.
So you're separating that from like say Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, does he come back to life at any
I'm just
point?
talking about the original. Like the original one, you don't have any real knowledge or
considered
sense.
a slasher film?
That's what I'm saying. Are
Yeah,
those
I think
different?
those are
Because I
different.
kind of lump them together.
Yeah, because if you look up horror in the definition, it
Okay,
says
so it
supernatural
does
hazard.
put that in there. Okay, so maybe that's a separate thing because like
there's gothic horror.
as an
and-
example, I like the almost all of the Rob Zombie movies, the horror movies. Those are not supernatural. Those
Zombies
are just
are?
they weren't no, but the House of a Thousand Corpses was not zombies. The what's the other one related to that one? It's not the Halloween one. The Halloween one is pure horror, right?
Right.
I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's all that same cast. It's all that same crew.
They may not start out as horror, but if the guy comes back,
Well, if a guy dies and comes back, then it is, yeah.
Then it starts to move into the horror. Yeah.
Right. So it's a separate category then. Maybe I need to not blend them.
I mean, there's like I said, I think there's like slasher films, and I think they have a whole definition of, I think this is like the Saw movies
right. That's what I was gonna say. Like Saw, the original, is just
or like
that's not considered horror.
Well, I don't know, but
because it's not supernatural.
If there is an element, I don't know. I don't. Those are movies.
I saw the original one.
I thought there was a talking puppet or something in Saw.
Well, no,
Isn't
but it's
that
like
part of
it's mechanical. It's not. It's a guy that's. Sorry, spoiler alert for an old movie, but there's a guy doing all these things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it possessed?
Yeah, there's a guy that's making all of this stuff happen to, And I'm not going to get beyond that, but
Final Destination, like Bloodlines. I mean, I guess it's a little supernatural because you got.
All right.
The horror is haunting them.
Yeah. All right. All right. Janelle is with it. You're hanging out, I guess. I assume you didn't bring cookies to come and leave, right? You're going to hang out.
Yeah, I brought cookies so I could stay.
Yeah. Well, you can stay anyway, Janelle. Come on.
I was going to say we should give a shout out to this cookie place.
Yeah, do it.
Oh yeah, the cookie box on K that I've asked Kevin to frequently go to since it's by our house.
Yeah, not far.
And up in O'Fallon, the cookie box, and it's in Calderville and on Highway K in O'Fallon.
I'm going to be opening a cookie box and eating a cookie right now.
Good.
Tell you guys about Triton Exteriors. So pretty simple. I represent several companies that do things to your home. Triton Exteriors is your company for anything on the outside of your home. So your roof, your siding, your gutters, your fences. We are a James Hardy and Smart Side elite company. We're in Webster Grove, so we are sort of cream of the crop, but we're not highfalutin. We don't have an attitude. If you can hear the sound of my voice, we can come out there and we can repair or replace your roof or your siding, your gutters, your fences. Tim, the owner, is a really good guy. I really took to Tim immediately. He's a fellow barbecue guy. Just hit it off. He comes from a background in high-end restaurateurship, and so his answer is always yes. What's the question? It's all about customer service. The guys make fun of him because he takes his phone into the bathroom with him to make sure he never misses a client or customer call. Give him a call at 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com. Depend on him to always be the middle bid because he is going to shoot you straight and be fair with you. 314-717-1159, triton-stl.com.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Hi, my name is Christina Straight, the owner of Straight Realty, and I'm asking you, what do you want in a realtor? Do you want experience? I've been a broker for over 21 years. Do you want to know how much I've sold? I've sold over $500 billion, yes, $1 billion with a B in sales. Do you want value? I now list properties for only 2%. So if you're looking for all these things and want the best, then call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Selling your car online sounds easy. Snap a few pics, list a price, then what? Wait weeks? Haggle with strangers? At Suntrop Ford, we actually make it easy to sell your car. Visit Suntrop Ford Kirkwood or Westport, and our expert appraisers will give you a fast, fair offer on the spot. Or skip the trip and get an instant quote at suntropford.com. No guesswork, no games, just the best price. Visit suntropford.com today. Get more at Suntrop Ford.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, DGS here on a Thursday. Dave is still on vacation, just like he was 10 minutes ago when I said that last night. He'll be back on Monday. Rachel, Andrew, Kevin, Janelle hanging out with us at Holy L everywhere on the internets, especially on the social media outlets. And we did talk movies. I want to throw something at the whole group. So I saw a story today that, so you guys know the company Turo, Turo?
Refresh my
So
memory.
this is the company where you can rent your car out to someone else.
Is this the airport thing?
Yes.
They were doing?
So
Yeah.
they got approved to be at Lambert, just like all of the other car rental services. Like they have the same kind of agreement. But I didn't really care about the fact that they're approved at Lambert as much as I cared about the question of whether or not you guys would even do this. But I mean on either end, okay? Because I can tell you right now, there is no way anybody's driving my car.
Stay away from the Camaro, bro.
There's no way. Even my other ones. I would never... I'm sure that
no
you
one's
can,
forcing you to.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why anybody does it. I mean, I get that there's a way to make some money. I feel like the risk in that is pretty great. But also, I wouldn't rent a car from some random person that I don't know.
I attempted to do this when I went to Los Angeles for my brother's wedding. His in-laws were doing it, and they turned us onto it. They told us about it. They felt like it was an okay deal. I could not find a good deal. Every deal that I found was far worse than just doing what we ended up doing, which is just renting a car from a rental company and having it for a week. I think it makes a lot more sense out there where so many people are like remote working and everything is a little more...
So you're doing it more as a routine thing, not a vacation thing.
So you're doing it more as I'm fine with renting out my car for a week because I actually don't think I'm going to need it this week.
Gotcha.
Here, it makes a little bit less sense to rent your car out.
Sure,
because
you have to use it. Yeah.
Like to get around the St. Louis area, you absolutely have to use it. St. Louis is like not a walk, and LA isn't really walkable either. But the neighborhoods are individually walkable. I think in a lot of cases. So if you live kind of just within your neighborhood for a week, you can rent your car out. Here, I think it makes a lot less sense.
Yeah.
I don't like it on the user end where like see if I rent from any rental car company, I know if that car gets a flat tire, they're going to come give me a new car. If anything goes wrong, and I know that they're taking care of it. I know they have mechanics, and if they're not, again, if something goes wrong, they're going to bring me a new car. And I'm sure that the company Turo has stuff built in to make sure you're going to have something backed up. So A, I don't know that, which makes me uneasy. And B, I don't want to trust the safety of the car that I'm driving to a person that I don't know.
Yeah, but is it any different than a vacation house?
Yeah, I was going to say, it just
Well, the
sounds
car's
like
not-
Airbnb for
The
cars.
house isn't going to break down.
Oh,
The house it could, but it's still
Catch
going
on
to be
fire?
it's still going to be a house. Well, sure, and I think that's and I actually think it's a valid question about that too. But most people aren't renting out their own home for that. Most people are renting out a rental property that they own.
Yeah.
Now, some people do their own home. I mean, Andrews stayed with someone in their place
True.
while they were still there, which I'm sure was fun.
Never saw him. I don't know.
That's what they wanted. They didn't want you to see.
Honestly, the only reason
So
it's
you
going
guys-
to sound
you guys
so
would do
dumb,
this?
No, the only reason I wouldn't, and it's going to sound so stupid, is because I am extremely short. And and all the mirrors would have to be adjusted, the seats would have to be, and like I just would hate to have to put it all back. Like,
So you wouldn't do it on the rental side or on the renter side?
no, I wouldn't want somebody taking my truck and
Okay,
then,
so you don't
like,
wanna have to
moving
change it all back, right.
yeah, they'd get in and think, oh my god, does a child drive this? And like, like this is so unsafe. Like, so no, they would have like the mirrors, everything would have to be changed, the seats, no. And that's like I said, that's just a stupid thing on my part. I mean, like if you had I guess I wouldn't say like a really expensive car, but just kind of, I don't want to say a beater either, but you know.
Is the counter argument to what I'm saying simply like, okay, I can have a really nice car this way, and that will make some of my car payment every month?
Oh, you mean like 2 cars and maybe rent out one out?
Or like Andrew said, like I don't need it all the time.
Right.
There'll be days I don't need it, and if I can rent it out for 4 or 5 days a month, that can make part of my payment, and then I can have a nicer car
on the side.
Yeah,
we've a couple listeners in the chat here saying they've used Turo on vacations and business trips and such, and have had a really good
Interesting.
experience.
Glad they do. It just, I don't know, maybe it's just my generation. Gen X sitting here going,
Hey,
nah,
hey.
I don't like that.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 36494, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome. Visit lombardohomes.com for more information.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we're looking pretty good out there so far this afternoon. Just some slow traffic westbound 70 from Goodfellow out through Jennings Station. There's some slow stuff west of 94 through Zumbel, and then just a little bit of a slowdown past 61. Westbound 64, Science Center headed out through McCausland is heavy. There's just a little slowdown at the Boone Bridge, and it's busy the whole way from 364 out to Highway 70. Southbound 270 from Page all the way down through to 64 is slow, a little busy. 44 most of the way down to Gravois. If you're on westbound Highway 6 or southbound 170 from the Parkway to Brentwood's a little slow. Westbound 44 is a little busy. Just the right lanes from Geyer. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates. And then from Z down to McNutt and north of A down to 67, you've got slow stuff. And we still have the emergency repair work ongoing. Westbound 64, midway between Route 4 and 158. You're jamming approaching Route 4 there. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. it could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit TrueHold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Join Pine Valley Assisted Living of Arnold for a free movie day to see Freakier Friday on August 20th at 10 a.m. at the Arnold Cinema, which includes soda and popcorn. RSVP to Lisa Brennan, 314-283-5669.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Pine Valley Assisted Living of Arnold.
All right, 3:33. DGS, one Dave out, another Dave in. Dave Murray, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. Seems like you're doing great every day. I like that. You're always happy. You're always ready to jump on.
I don't have a problem.
You got a good
Even
life
if
going,
I'm having
don't
a
you?
problem, you don't want to hear about it anyway.
What if we do? No, we don't. Nobody wants to hear anybody else's problems. We just all want to have fun, have a good time. Before we get into other stuff and kick some things around, what are we looking at for the next handful of days, into the weekend?
Humid. Yeah, we got a little bit of a break today because a couple of thunderstorms sneaked in from the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
They just barely made it in, but it kept our temperatures down. 8 degrees or so, but the humidity is sky high. You feel it out there. And basically sunny, hot, and humid tomorrow, 95. Same story Saturday, same story on Sunday. And right now, everything's kind of stuck because there's no storm out in the Atlantic, but there's a lot of tropical spin going on. So everything's kind of stuck right now, and we're stuck with high pressure, summer high pressure, southerly flow. This will continue at least into the early part of next week. There are some signs it could continue for about 2+ weeks. It's nothing horrible. It's nothing 100 plus, but it's a little beastie out there at times.
What's the threshold, Dave, to you that it's uncomfortable? Because for me, it's like low 90s I can live with. Once we get to like 95 and up, and that's when I'm like,
Yeah, it all depends on the dew point temperature for me. I mean, I can take 95 and be a dry heat. That's not too bad. I can deal with that. Though there's other times where it could be like 88 outside and the humidity's sky high, and it's like, this is really gross. Really gross.
Yeah, know that feeling.
Don't forget full moons this weekend. The sturgeon moon.
Sturgeon.
Full sturgeon moon. Yep.
Why'd they name it after a fish?
Well, all the names are based on Indian lore, and this is the time in the Great Lakes when the sturgeon
Gotcha.
plentiful.
That's a good point. Should have known that coming from one of those Great Lakes states. I should have known that.
You knew that. I figured you knew that.
See, sometimes you learn something cool when you ask a dumb question. That's why there's no such thing as a dumb question, because it might get you a good answer.
Right.
Just like the other day, I thought I had a dumb question for you, and it turned out you told me it wasn't a dumb question. The partly cloudy versus partly sunny thing.
Partly sunny.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about your
Still
mindset.
Confuses you. Yes.
Well, that's not saying a lot. I mean, I'm pretty easily confused on all matters related to any kind of science whatsoever.
Well, remember, the bar is really low on the Dave Glover show because Dave
taking shots
couldn't find the moon. Dave couldn't find the moon, so that's the low part of the bar.
Well, I'm trying to push it back down there, trying to help out, because honestly, the only sciences I really understand are like, you want to talk about the physics of baseball? Boom, I get that.
There you go.
I'm in.
Yeah, and man, you could outdo me with that in a second.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. I'm gonna flex and brag. Yeah, get you on that one. That's about the only thing I'm going to get Dave Murray on is that. Other than that, that and heavy metal, and then other than that, you got me. I'm down. I'm down for the count on all the other ones. All right, let's do some headlines, Rach. See what's going on out there.
All right, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. Did you guys see that United Airlines was dealing with major flight delays after a, quote, tech disruption? So it caused over 1,000 flight delays. Their system is called Unimatic, and about 35% of their overall flights were delayed. 7% were canceled. Started yesterday, carried on into this morning. They have apologized for the inconvenience and offered support to affected travelers. But am I the only one who feels like getting on a flight is just like it might happen, it might not at this point.
It's becoming a crapshoot, yes.
Yeah, just cross your fingers and hope that you'll be able to get in the sky soon.
This is one of the reasons I have my general rule is I won't even consider flying versus driving if it's less than 8 hours.
Yeah, I think that's also a big Midwest thing, too.
Yeah, because I mean, but it's like if it's less than 8 hours, because I figure in the time it takes to get to the airport, the time I'm going to wait there waiting for the flight, the time it takes to get off the plane, get to your bags, get to the car, get to the house you're going to. Like, that's going to add up on most any flight. Now, there are some places where it's worth it, right? But then I act on, okay, the cost. And then this nonsense.
Right.
Flights being canceled and delayed. I mean, so if I can take the control, anything 8 hours or less, I'm driving. Period. The end.
There you go. This has something to do. This has something to do with the way the plane is balanced. The wings are balanced or something when it's flying. It just didn't sound really good to me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, take it down. I don't want to get on that plane.
Oh.
Awful.
I don't want a tilty plane.
Yeah.
No, that sounds bad.
We're way up there.
So new CDC data shows that Americans are eating slightly less ultra-processed food, which is really good. However, it's still not great. Children are consuming nearly 62% of their daily calories from such food. These are foods high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats.
Well, part of the problem with this is that's also the cheapest food.
Absolutely.
And people that are working on a tight budget will often have no choice but to take cheaper options versus it's funny though that like the more we do to the food, the less it costs versus like you don't do anything to it. Oh, that's the more expensive stuff.
Because it's preserved longer and it can sit on the shelf
and it's
for a long time.
Got less filler in the real stuff.
It's easier. Yeah. It's easier too. Here, kid, eat this.
Yeah, well, I mean, what kid doesn't like chicken nuggets?
Yeah, you give them the option between like an apple and some Takis. I know what the average little kid is going to go for.
Takis!
Okay, speaking of like how high calorie foods and such, Eli Lilly has an obesity pill that has led to more than 12% weight loss in a late stage trial. So they're paving the way for approval of this pill. So it's anticipated to be more tolerable and cost effective than weight loss injections.
Okay, so this would be something that would go. So if you don't like shots,
and maybe you don't need to lose as much weight,
okay, all right,
this would be a good alternative for folks. So something to keep an eye out for.
Well, we have all kinds of pills now that help fix things that we did not have pills for a long time ago, and I'm guessing that's going to keep on happening.
Oh, yeah.
Apple's going to invest $100 billion to make U.S. iPhone parts. As President Trump says, a big chip tariff is coming. They previously committed to $500 billion earlier this year. I guess they're tacking on another 100 million more. They plan to create a domestic supply chain for their chips and expand partnerships with key suppliers.
So my only question, because that all sounds good, my only question is, what does that do for the price of my iPhone? Am I going to be paying $150, $200 more?
Most likely.
I mean, is it going to be the same? Is it going to be, if it's close? Let's see, like these are in those stories, that's what impacts me. And by me, I mean Joe Consumer.
Right.
You know, part of the reason that things are done the way that they are is because it provides a less expensive option because people don't want to spend extra. And we've proven it. Americans have proven it. It's why we shop at Walmart. It's why we shop at the places where there are the best deals.
Look at how much the iPhone 16 was compared to, I think, wasn't like a few of the last ones jumped up extremely high, and those were still built overseas.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, bringing it home is going to make it even worse. Yeah.
Let's see here. Disney is shutting down the Hulu app.
What?
But the service is going to live on.
I see. They're just going to put it on Disney?
Yeah, it'll just be through Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus, you see like when you log in.
I'm like, damn it.
Well, everything you can get on Disney right now, you can get.
Right. Yeah. When you log into Disney Plus, you'll see like,
just an option for Hulu
the
or
Pixar
whatever.
section, the Star Wars section. This will be a Hulu.
I'm a big fan if it's all one app. That's great. I have, because by the way, that's also they bundle that with ESPN,
Yeah,
obviously.
they just keep bundling.
So if you could just put it all into one, like,
You mean like cable?
Yeah, put it all in
just
there.
like cable.
Except it's still cheaper than cable was.
Yeah, but cable's easier.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, cable was like, okay, I have 5 channels I watch and I have 400 channels.
Right, yeah.
One thing that's true, this is actually something that's hurting sports quite a bit, especially baseball, basketball, and hockey, is that the sports networks, so ESPN, FanDuel Sports, when it was something else, their model was that they were getting paid per subscriber, not per person that actually watched that station. So even people that weren't watching sports were paying for those stations. And now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to.
I have a story here about America's most stolen car.
Oh.
Now it's the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1.
Okay, I don't have the ZL1. I'm like, I was about to be run out to the parking lot. Like, wait, don't.
This car is being stolen at a rate 39 times above the average.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad I don't have the ZL1. That's a badass. Yeah, that's the like 650 horsepower big old monster.
Retails for about $75,000.
Yeah.
So the reason people steal it so much is because there is a vulnerability in its onboard data ports.
Oh.
So I guess that makes it easy to hack, like kind of like the Kia situation.
Yeah,
You could use a
yeah.
flash
Good
drive
point.
And all that. So.
Well, and again, that's the top version of those. Like that's big ass engine. That's basically a race car.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
What little color you had was.
I know it's
out
not
of your
basically
face.
a race car. I'm exaggerating. Somebody out there's going, "That's not a race car." I know. Just compared to most cars on the street, it is.
Little tennis news for you. U.S. Open singles winners will get a record $5 million each this year. That's the most in tennis history. And total compensation is jumping to $90 million for the tournament.
That's good.
Yeah, it's cool. And the cool thing about tennis is men and women earn the same amount of money. I think they draw about the same numbers.
They do. Yeah, they do.
And they're doing this new mixed doubles event this year. They're doing it the week before the singles events as an opportunity to get like big players to team up and be on doubles teams together, which will be very entertaining. Some doubles players are upset by this because that was like their thing, and now they're going to be they're going to have way less of a chance of winning when you potentially are facing like Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu at this point. They're doing it to get more people to watch the sport, though, and I think this is going to be really amazing for tennis to have these games and these like spectacles. I think they're going to earn some new fans this year at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, they'll bring me in if they bring in full contact tennis. Tackle each other.
Cage match.
Same thing on golf.
Box them all in.
Same thing on golf. Hey, if the golfers have to sprint from shot to shot, I might watch.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, you're doing a lot of
with
moving
no
around
caddy.
the tennis court.
I'm just teasing. I'm just totally
With
kidding.
no caddy and their golf bag above their head.
Yeah. No caddy. You got to run with your bag. Yep.
One final story for you guys in headlines. A Florida gambler hit 389 jackpots in one day. Oh my God. This happened at a casino in Tampa.
He used up everybody's.
He was
Tell
getting
me
to
the
the
end
right
of this
slot
story is
machine
that he was
at the right
cheating.
time. The casino was bragging about it and like, oh, this is the most impressive one-day run in our property's history. Something fishy.
This dude's got a magnet or something.
He'll never be back again.
Yeah, he's been private. They're
And
saying
he's
that.
never
and then-
been heard from again.
They're saying that, and then in the back room, Joe Pesci's beating the crap out of him. That's a good story. I like that one.
$389.
That's
Ooh.
crazy. Dave, thanks so much, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report's a service of Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. We still have the roadwork delays westbound 64 from Route 4 midway into 158, northbound Route 4 north of 64, headed up to 50 is a pretty solid jam going into Lebanon right now as well. Westbound Highway 70 a little busy through the city limits, Jennings Station. It's a little slow west of 94 to Zumbel, A to Z in the Wentzville area. Westbound 64 Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker. The right lanes are a little slower on, well, all lanes, but more so the right lanes at Palace. And then from Boone's Crossing to the bridge, heavy. Slow again from 364 out to 70. South 270 from Page down through to Ladou's pretty busy. Manchester down through Doherty Ferry. After that, it's not so bad. South 170 Ladou to Brentwood's a little slow. Southbound 55 Gasconade Bates. North of Z down through McNutt. South of McNutt down to 67. There's some slower traffic running that way. Northbound 170 north of the Rock Road up to 70's heavy. I'm Roger Brand in the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
So I have kind of been mixing it up with my smart mouth usage lately. I mean, typically I use the just original Smart Mouth mouthwash. It works great for me. But lately I've been kind of wanting to focus on my gum health. So I did pick up a couple of bottles of Gum Health mouth rinse. I already noticed a difference. You know, sometimes when you floss or you brush too hard, your gums might bleed a little bit. It's something that has probably happened to everyone at one point or the other. Since I've been using this mouth rinse, this Gum Health from Smart Mouth, I have not had that problem anymore whenever I floss, which is really, really nice. Plus, it gives me the same protection against bad breath that you can expect from any Smart Mouth product. Use it once in the morning, once at night. You have 24 hours of bad breath protection. It's so great for your oral health. And no matter what's going on with you, whether you have dry mouth, you have gingivitis, or if you just want to get rid of your bad breath, there is a formula for you. Check them all out at smartmouth.com/Glover. While you're there, get a coupon for $2.50 off your next purchase. That website again, smartmouth.com/Glover.
It is Pet Appreciation Month at Zero Res. We all love our pets. I love my pets. Mine are getting older and don't always make it to the bathroom, you know what I mean? And so, especially with this really bad heat that we've had the last month or so, the smells can be pretty bad. And you can use over-the-counter stuff, but it just doesn't work as well. So Zero Res, in honor of Pet Appreciation Month, is giving you this deal. 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129, 15% off pet odor treatments, $50 off your air duct cleaning. So Zero Res has been to my house to do my little piece of carpeting many times. They do a great job. They are punctual. They are professional. They are courteous. They work their butts off. And with a 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee, if they do all those things, but you're still not super happy, give them a call. They'll come back and do it again until you are. 314-474-2020. You can also book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Get ready, St. Louis. 2 acclaimed performers will headline a summer finale on the Muni stage Thursday, August 28th. International music icon Diana Ross and multi-Grammy Award-winning artist John Baptiste. And this is your chance to win a premium VIP experience to see the show. VIP includes a pair of box seats, a pair of VIP pre-party tickets, free drinks at the intermission bar, and a free parking pass. Register now online at KMOX.com/contests for your chance to win. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It is Thursday on DGS, and I think that means we should do some throwback.
Good idea. On August 7th, back in the day, 243 years ago, that's way back in the day, 1782, George Washington created the Order of the Purple Heart, which is given exclusively to servicemen wounded in combat. I did not realize it was that old.
That guy was something.
Yeah, he was. Superhero.
He was a ginger, too. Let's go Gingers.
Kevin brings that up for no particular reason.
Every time.
But a tall one.
Yeah, he was. Not like me. I'm a small one.
I only say that because I'm shorter.
68 years ago in 1957, the world lost Oliver Hardy, better known as half of Laurel and Hardy. He had a blood clot in his brain. I did not know this. Good. He was only 65 years old, pardon me. Sorry for the downer. 55 years ago, in 1970, Stevie Wonder released the album Signed, Sealed, and Delivered with the title track in his cover of We Can Work It Out. I love
Dude is great, man.
Mm-hmm.
He is unbelievable.
He is wonderful. And 29 years ago in 1996, NASA scientists announced that there was possible life on Mars 3.6 billion years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff there. At least everybody says there is. All those conspiracy nuts. There's a pyramid there. I'm not saying there is. I'm just joking. I'm making fun of it. Wouldn't it be crazy if there was, though?
Yeah, and it's like buried underground or something. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. It could be possible. We don't know. We've never been there.
Anything's possible when you don't know.
And 28 years ago in 1997, Garth Brooks put on a free concert in Central Park. It drew between 250,000 and 750,000 fans. I mean, that's quite
pretty
a
wide range.
The police put the crowd at 250. His promoters put it at 750.
Okay, so then it was 250.
So one guy said it was 10, and the other guy was like, I don't know, 1 million?
Yeah.
The
police do this regularly. I'll trust the police.
I ain't
there.
counting all that.
They don't have a stake in all of that. Janelle, thank you. We'll see you next week. Let me tell you about Game Day Men's Health. I was just there today, by the way. You can find out more at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. I told you already how much it got me through last week. I mean, look, it's been a little more than 5 months that I've been working with them. And I mean this sincerely. This is not BS. It's the truth. And I told them this, and I would not have to BS them at all. It's like being back 10, 12, 15 years ago with how my body feels on a day-to-day basis. And I felt that last week when I had the big 3-day trip. I had to drive to North Carolina one day, help my kid move for 15 hours the next day, and then drive back here the day after that. I woke up Friday after doing all that, nothing. No muscle pains, back didn't hurt, legs weren't heavy, all of that. And I can tell you, 6 months ago, that would have kicked my ass. I'm just telling you flat out the reality of it. And again, maybe testosterone